And if so, we'll just start it off. Looks like it might. We'll just start it off here in a minute.
It says live on my screen.
Nice.
Yes, same here.
All right. Now the last thing I got to do is hit record. Record on this computer. All right. Why am I hearing myself twice? Get rid of that. All right. We're good. We're live. Here we go. Well, welcome back, everybody. Forgot what show was on almost. This is
great
Mark
way to start 2021.
Exactly, yeah. This is Mark 77 of the Super Civil Servants podcast. My name is Greg, and this is the kickoff show for 2021. This is my first recording of 2021.
Woo.
For Civil Servants, here we go. Got a great show lined up for tonight, and got some great guests with us. So, starting off with Sarah, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm ready to get 2021 started. Let's kick it off.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say. It's like I don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
I don't
Don't
want
want
to
to jinx yourself. Yep.
Right. Like the whole day, I've just been trying to think about what I can do to make 2021 better than 2020. But there's just so many things in 2020 that happened that I had no control over. You know, I don't know what I could do. I could just try, I suppose. But Joe's with us too. What's up, buddy?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just been staying home. It's cold up here in Indiana, so cold and rainy. Freezing rain. We had freezing rain today.
Yeah, we did too. It's terrible.
And my dog wanted to go outside. I'm like, you son of a bitch.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least you had a good project to work on. I mean, you consider you got done with the first row, right?
You say good, but I'm yeah, it's a project. We'll go with that.
It definitely is, man. With a collection that big, there's no way.
Yeah. Well, heck, I think over Christmas break, I reorganized these in alphabetical order. That took me all of like 2 days, and that was annoying as hell.
Oh.
Now I'm tackling the comics. My plan was, so I was gonna put story arcs together and like separate those.
Mm-hmm.
I got through up to the Batmans. I'm like, there's just way too many. I'm just gonna
Right.
no.
Yeah.
No.
It's like, do you offer like library cards so we can check some of that out?
I mean, look, I have no problem loaning these to whoever wants to borrow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've got plenty.
Yeah.
Hell, I more often than not, I forget who I loaned it out to. I lent out a couple of trades to a friend of mine. Let's see, last year, and I think he was gonna give it back to me before Christmas break at work, and then he forgot. So, I'll get them back when I get it back. It's not that big of a deal.
I just realized that I had this title of this as Panthers versus Packers. That was the last time I streamed on this channel. Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
I can
Also, I don't. Are you recording on Zencaster? Because I don't think you are.
Ooh, you know what? You're right. I don't think I am either. So, but I'm recording on.
Yes, but
one of these
I know you always like that
right.
backup.
That's true. That's true. Let's do that.
all right, got it.
Damn, there we go.
Yeah.
Start recording. All right. Well, folks, we are here this evening. We haven't been here in about 2 weeks. It was a 2-week break. We were going to take this week off too, but I couldn't go 3 weeks without recording. I don't know why. It felt weird. 3 Friday nights in a row. We've been doing this for almost 2 years now, and just 3 Fridays in a row. It just didn't feel right. So I'm glad y'all could join me tonight, and we can get a show out here. And it's going to be pretty simple. We're just going to do some talk about 2020. Things we love, things we're going to miss, things we're not going to miss. And then, we'll look into 2021 and see what's going on with that. But before we get started with all that, let's go ahead and get the network and plugs and everything out of the way. We are part of the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network, where you can find shows 7 days a week. World's Finest True Believers, DC Alliance Podcast, Marvel Alliance Podcast, Star Wars Alliance Podcast. We also have a Ranger Alliance Podcast, Slice of Film, Super Civil Servants, which you're on right now, Superhero Discussions, Weird Science, DC and Marvel Comics, and I think that's it, isn't it?
Sounds about right.
I think I got all of them in there. Yeah, I might have forgot one. I said all the alliances, Slice of Film.
I mean,
Yeah,
you got like
sure.
There's like 10 shows on the network. I
Yeah.
can barely remember like 3 of them. So
Trying to shorten this, as much as we can. We've gotten pretty good at it after about 30, 40 weeks. So we've gotten pretty good at it. But check out the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network. Like I said, we're doing shows 7 days a week. So you can check it out any day on any podcast catcher you're listening to and find our stuff. A few of these shows do go live. Also, we have a Patreon account. There's a $1 tier and a $5 tier. The $1 tier helps keep the lights going, helps us keep things running. And $5 tier is just a little extra. You love us. You get ad-free shows, Patreon exclusive episodes, and we'd like to drop stuff early on there sometimes too, whatever we can. So check it out. It's pretty fun. We appreciate all your supporters, and that's about it. I think we got all the legal stuff out of the way here. That's right. Yeah. So let's get started. I guess the only thing I can say is we're ad-supported network. We'll take a couple ad breaks during this, but we'll let you know before it comes in. 30, 45 seconds. Just bear with us. Be good to go. Let's get started. I lined out a few questions last night, just trying to write up a little structure for the show about 2021 or 2020, 2021. I think one of the biggest, obviously, the biggest thing this year has been COVID-19 and how it's affected everybody. I feel like personally streaming has gotten more popular, at least it has in my house. I know people that I've talked to are watching more streaming stuff. I want to know what the effects of COVID-19 did on that. And I think that it would be popular regardless, eventually, probably to this point. But I think the COVID just kind of sped that up. Mm-hmm. You know? So what do y'all think? Would streaming be as popular right now if we weren't homebound by this horrible COVID-19?
I don't think so. I think it was like getting into the video on demand, but that was after theatrical releases. Mm-hmm. So I mean, you got more of your Netflixes, your Disney Pluses. Now you got an HBO Max, which that's what Brian's doing upstairs. Yeah. So I mean, it was getting there. I just think the whole COVID pandemic issue just kind of pushed it forward, kind of sped it up a little bit because, I mean, honestly, you didn't really have a choice. That's what I've kind of said in past shows. COVID just a situation where either the studios sat on their films or they had to get it out there somewhere. Mm-hmm. So I think streaming, I think it was eventual. It was like an organic progression that would finally get there. But I just think with 2020, just like I said, kind of pushed it there to where the industry just really didn't have a choice. Mm-hmm. It's either get your films out there or don't. Right. And plus, a lot of people felt safer staying at home. They felt safer, the opportunity of, you can watch these movies. You can at least have some semblance of normalcy because you are watching, films that are just, freshly released. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, absolutely. I think, it was just a push. I think we might have been maybe a couple of years ahead of maybe where it would have been if mm-hmm. there wasn't, craziness like this. But I mean, I think eventually we would have got there.
Oh yeah, no, totally agree. It would probably have been at least 3 more years before mm-hmm. we would have been anywhere near mm-hmm. the level we're at now. COVID definitely pushed that envelope to force the companies to seek other options. Mm-hmm. And obviously movie theaters were not going to be a thing. I mean, some still are. You could do, like Sarah and I, we both mm-hmm. went to go see Wonder Woman on Christmas Day, and I did a private theater. You went to just the regular theater. Mm-hmm. Like, the options are still there, but it's trying to stay safe. People aren't going to go out. So having the opportunity to watch the stuff at home, yeah, any chance I get, I'm gonna at least try it. Like, I watched Soul Christmas morning before I went to go see Wonder mm-hmm. Woman. I would have saw Soul in theaters, but since they put it on the streaming service, yeah, I watched it there.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with y'all. I think that it's definitely boosted the popularity of streaming services. I know just in my house alone, I've signed up for 2 different ones this year. I've gotten CBS All Access and HBO Max just mm-hmm. this year, which almost doubles the amount of streaming services that I was paying for. That's so I mean it's definitely affected me. I know I've watched more things this year just being at home, not being able to go anywhere. And once again, I think that it would have been this popular in the future, but I think that we just had an acceleration of it with everybody mm-hmm. having to be at home, and it's really led to the success of things like, or the causality of things like HBO Max. Like, mm-hmm. do you even think without? I mean, I know they had to have had this in the works for years. It's not something they just whipped up in a couple weeks or a couple months, but I just feel like HBO Max, even though I don't know, actually, now I think about that, I was going to say I don't think they would have been as popular, but
I think it would have been. They would not have pushed the movies side, like they wouldn't have gotten
Mhm.
this deal with Wonder Woman
Right.
had COVID
right.
happened.
Mhm.
HBO Max would have happened, just it wouldn't be as popular. You're right, but because of what happened, they needed to find some of their
They
own
had-
properties to try and make it popular.
Mhm.
Which, by the way, they have some great shows.
Oh
on
yeah,
there. Some great original content on there. So
love Westworld.
yeah, I just got.
I saw the
in
first
middle of
episode
watching
of that
Flight
last
Attendant.
night. I saw the first episode
Yeah.
last night. It's weird. I like the concept, but it just made me uncomfortable.
You're in for a ride.
But then there's Silicon Valley. Have you guys seen that?
I haven't watched that one yet.
I haven't yet. No, I'm
Yeah,
in the
we
middle of
watch-
watching Flight Attendant right now.
Yeah, Silicon
About
Valley. We
halfway
watched
through
about
Haven't watched that one either. I
maybe
need to.
3 episodes. Well, it's not really one you can watch in the afternoon with the kids there. It's not quite as bad as Westworld, but it's
No.
no, it's not that bad. But no,
Yeah,
Silicon Valley is pretty cool. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I watched an amazing movie the other day with what's Joseph Gordon-Levitt? Is that the guy's name? 7500
Yeah, I
on
was
Amazon
gonna.
Prime. Wow, what a great movie!
Was it good? Okay.
Yeah, the entire movie takes place in the cockpit of this plane. So like
Oh,
the entire
wow.
movie is basically a long monologue.
I remember
by
seeing the trailer for that.
Yeah, it's
some time
really
ago.
good. Mhm.
Okay.
I would recommend it. Really, really good.
Yeah.
That was a big squirrel. But that's what streaming does right there. Look, we started talking about HBO Max, and I got to thinking about other great movies I've seen and
Mhm.
where they're at now. I've just got so many streaming services. This is the year that I got rid of cable. My wife never wanted to get rid of cable because she wanted soap operas, and I wanted live sports. I found a way to get live sports, through other means, through streaming services and other ways on the internets. And she discovered that all these, with COVID, most of the soap operas stopped filming for a long time. And they had a big backlog because a lot of them have 60 years of stuff they've been filming.
What?
So yeah, so they've been putting that out. So she didn't really want to watch that, but she discovered on a lot of the streaming services we have, like HBO Max and CBS All Access, she can get a lot of these soap
Mhm.
operas. So we just got
Especially CBS.
Yeah.
especially CBS, yeah. So we just got cable this year, and so it definitely was a big year for me with streaming, and I think COVID had a lot to do with that.
So we're about maybe a month out from cutting cable. They're introducing that Discovery Plus.
Mm.
Oops, I think it's a Discovery. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a
Um,
little bit about it. Yeah.
Well, everything that's on there is everything that my girlfriend's mom watches,
Mhm.
and she's the one that pays the cable. So like I've got myself, I have Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon Prime. My girlfriend has HBO Max and Disney Plus right now.
Mm.
If she gets Discovery Plus, like we don't need cable. Like cable is just gone.
Except from a Food Network and my HGTV.
That's on Discovery Plus.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah, check it out.
Uh-oh. Looks
It's like
somebody else might
$5
cut
a
cable
month.
looks
too.
like we
So,
might
like,
be cutting
initially-
cable.
And like $6 after like the first month, or 6 or
Mhm.
$7 after the first. Check it out. We're looking into what devices it will stream on 1st before we actually say like, all right, well, we're gonna do this, because it doesn't say yet. It says that it will be on anything you can get. You can have anything you already stream stuff on, but it
Mhm.
doesn't give specific devices.
Well,
until
fortunately,
that.
Unfortunately, we had Apple TV, but we had to get another one because it wouldn't support. It was so old, it wouldn't support the Disney Plus when we got it. Last year or whatever. So, but I mean, it pretty much. We got the HBO, and I got my NFL Network. I've got, because
Get Discovery Plus, you'll have everything you want.
well, my dad still has DirecTV, so anytime I have to
There
go
you
into
go.
like the ESPN app, so whenever Carolina plays on ESPN or the NFL Network, I'm like, Dad, what's your password? He's like, it's fine, because my dad's always going to have that because he's got to have his 500 because he's got to watch baseball, he's got to watch basketball, he's got to watch. My dad's a big baseball fan, so he's going to watch it all.
Yeah.
So as long as he's still around, I don't have to worry about that.
That's fair. That works.
Yeah,
Now,
go ahead.
go ahead, Greg.
I was gonna say I found the only problem I have is I can watch my sports no problem through other means, but it's not really live anymore. Like it's not as live as regular cable. It's hard to stream watching a game when I'm like a minute and a half behind in game time. I can still watch the game, but it's difficult because I'm so far behind. I think Sarah, when you and I tried to do that, you were like 45 seconds ahead of me, so you'd see something like, "Oh, what's gonna happen?"
Well, that's what happens when I watch Carolina on ESPN because I have to turn my ESPN notifications off because it always comes in before. I'm
You're
like,
right.
I don't want to know about that.
Right. But yeah, I think that's about it for least for me, about whether I think how I think COVID did
Mhm.
for streaming services. I think it was kind of a blessing in disguise for the streaming services, to be
Yeah.
truly honest with you.
Well,
There's
I think
one
it
good
just
thing that came out of it.
yeah, made people more comfortable. You don't feel like, and plus, at least it gave the the industry opportunity to get their films out there. I mean, I know the monetary aspect of it is not as lucrative as it has been, but I mean, I just think the model is time for the model to change.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just that evolution that you knew it was coming.
And that actually segues perfectly into the next kind of part of this is, do you think this is the beginning of the end for movie theaters altogether?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it's
No?
the end. I think it's going to change it.
Mhm.
Like, perfect example is me going and renting a theater.
Mhm.
It's going to be more of a niche market where you'll be able to do that more often, or even make it a like an event kind of thing. Like, I'm not saying just dinner in the movie, but something similar to that, where it is such a special thing to go do that it's just you and a handful of people,
Right.
and that's it. And if you want to order food, they'll bring it to you. So maybe dinner in the movie. Never mind.
That is pretty cool. Well, it makes me wonder, even in that sense, like I wonder if maybe one day that a lot, like you could open a movie theater where it's just like that, where you just do private showings, and you could schedule showings anytime you wanted to. You wouldn't have to go on a set schedule of this movie starts at 2:00, this movie starts at 4:00. Like I want to book this theater for this amount of time, and then in theaters, not only is it just the seats, but now that you're reserving this, maybe they do put like tables in there.
Yeah.
Make it like a recreational room where you can have a group of 20 people in there, because you said you pay what, $200 for it?
It's $200 for Wonder Woman, for brand new movie. Yeah.
And you could have 20 people in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I
And
did that,
that was for a brand new. Like, if you want to do an old one, I think it was like $100.
yeah, see, that's even better. Like, I mean, well, $200 at 20 people, that's $10 a head. That's less than I pay for a movie ticket.
Exactly.
So I mean, you're right. That would be a great birthday party event if they could do something like that. I could see that in the future being, you're right, where it's an event to go to the movies. It's not just like me and my wife whenever before, just be like, hey, you want to go to the movies? And we'd go see
like
whatever's playing,
I had a Regal pass where I could see for like $18 a month. I could see a movie, a new movie every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I went once a week, so it really wasn't as the big movies I was happy to see, but just so I can get my money's worth, I wanted to make sure I saw at least 2, if not 3 movies a month.
Right.
So I'm watching some crappy movies, but I'm also only seeing it for 50 cents after taxes.
Right.
After I pick whichever movie I want.
Yeah.
But like even that, like I did see a couple of decent movies. Like I know we're not in there yet, but like I saw, what was it, Underwater with Kristen Stewart. Chris Stewart? Yeah. No. Yes. Sorry, mine's going elsewhere.
You're good.
And my screen's freezing too, so sorry about that. Yeah, that wasn't. I wasn't even really interested in it, but because I had the ability to see it for basically free, I'm like, yeah, I'll go watch it. Why not? And it actually turned out to be a decent movie.
And that's actually kind of the advantage of like a streaming service type
Yeah,
deal.
exactly.
It's like I'm already paying for this. I'm going to watch things that I necessarily or maybe wouldn't watch otherwise. Just because I have
completely
the ability
agree
to do
with
it.
that. Yeah, I completely agree, because there's a lot of movies that come in the theater. I'm just like, no, I don't think about that one until it comes out on a streaming service.
Correct.
Like whether back in the day, you did actually get a red box or but it came on Netflix or Hulu or whatever. So yeah, so maybe get an opportunity of getting more movies out there for people to see that wouldn't eventually normally see it in a theater, or it could. Because I feel like there's certain movies that should be played in theaters and some that can skip. Honestly, there's some that I don't know, maybe like some of the, I don't know. It's just, I don't really want to sit there for an hour and a half and see somebody's head the size of a wall. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I'm more of like the action not really blockbuster, but more like the action film, something that you feel like, I want the surround, I want the, that kind of thing. That's why superhero movies are so great.
You're not wrong. Most of them are popcorn flicks, and you have fun watching them.
Well, it's just like Tenet, and I know a few of you guys saw Tenet in the theater, and Brian had pulled it up, and he was watching it, and I'm sitting in the living room looking at this. I'm thinking, oh my God, if I was seeing this like on a full size movie screen, I wouldn't know what's going on, because there's a lot going on in that movie. So maybe some of these movies are just better for like sitting on your couch and
Well, you can get that second viewing in quicker rather than having to pay that other.
You can rewind it and be like, "What did I just
Exactly.
watch?"
Yes.
That was a big thing in Wonder Woman. As I love the fact that there were a couple times I had to pause it, take care of some stuff, and there were a couple times where I saw something and I was like, "Wait a second!" And I went back and rewound it and kind of looked at it because I love doing it in theaters sometimes.
You're like, "Hold on, wait a minute. Did I hear that right?"
Right, exactly. For me, the theaters is always a great experience. I love the theater experience, and it's something that like I just love doing just in general. I'll go to the theater and watch a movie even if I have nobody to go see a movie with, because I'm not going to be talking during the movie. So for me, it's not really a big deal, you know.
I used
Like
to do it all the
I love
time.
going to the movies, yeah. But for me, there were also always movies that I knew that I'm going to go see this in theaters, either opening night or opening weekend or sometime in theaters. And there were other movies that came out. I was like, okay, I'm going to see that, but I'm not stressing to see it in theaters. If I don't see it in theaters, I'll see it when it comes out. Now movies are coming out on like debuting on streaming services, so it's not a matter of seeing a movie, hearing stuff about it, waiting for it to come out on video, and then watching it. Now I'm watching it as soon as it comes out.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how it's changed up, and I don't think that for big movie theaters, big chains, it's going to be the end. I think they're going to have to adapt. But smaller market ones, smaller like mom and pop movie theaters. I know the one I grew up with in my house or in my neighborhood, my town. They've shut down, and they've been up my whole life. It's been everywhere from 50 cents to $2 for a ticket to go there. It's really crappy seats, really crappy theater, but man, it's a hometown theater,
Yeah,
and
it's
I had a lot of memories there, and I can't believe it's closed down now. So
yeah, we actually last week we had one the dinner in the movie cinema just closed down after I think 25 years.
Oh,
like
terrible.
It sucks, but
yeah,
I mean, situation where you are sitting down in a restaurant, and because they were a restaurant, they had to abide by the restaurant rules, which automatically cut them in half what they can have in there.
Right.
And then if you're not getting the tickets in there, the people in there, it's just, yeah, I get it. It sucks.
100%, man.
I just don't think the theaters. I think you'll still have them around. Like you said,
It'll change.
Yes, they like you say, they will adapt.
Well,
But
the ones who don't won't survive.
Yeah,
that's all there is to it. You know,
I just couldn't imagine not having a theater. I mean, I just
know.
I just couldn't imagine not having a theater.
It's the movie theater popcorn, man.
I
know, right? You cannot make that at
home. You cannot replicate that.
Right.
I've got a like a movie theater popper that we tried to use during quarantine.
Dude, they put some in that butter.
Not work so well. It was. I'm not gonna say it was terrible. We need to keep trying with it, but it just didn't. It wasn't the same. It just wasn't.
I'm doing those big old commercial poppers.
That's what I need.
Y'all know the movie theater trick for popcorn, right? You know how they always make it so it's the most expensive, but you get a large drink and a large popcorn. You get each one a free refill, which it's almost impossible to eat both the popcorns.
I don't know about
that. Well,
hold on there, sir.
They have those black trays, that can. I don't know if y'all remember. They have these black trays that can sit in this cup holders. You line those with napkins, and as soon as you get your popcorn, you dump the whole bag into this black tray. So it's like a big plate. Then you get it refilled right then. So that way you don't have to get up in the middle of the movie to get it refilled. It's perfect. I love it. Every time I do it, somebody's like, "Ooh, what'd you pay for that?" And then I have to show them how to do it. It's like I'm teaching somebody every time I go to the movie theater. It's great. Love it. But
love it.
Last question about movie theaters is can we hold up the quality and the excitement that we have for movies and stuff in the past if stuff's going to be mainly streaming in the future? And I guess my main question with that is, are we sacrificing quality for quantity? Like we're getting more on a streaming service, like something like The Mandalorian. We're getting a bigger story than we would a Star Wars movie. But are we sacrificing quality for that? And I use the Mandalorian's a bad example because no, of course we're not. It's a great series. I should use a different series, but just in that kind of manner, are we going to be sacrificing, or are we going to be losing that quality? That
it might be your setup. It might be because if you have a little teeny tiny TV, or if you're watching on your screen, yeah, possibly. But but then again, if you set it up to where you have like a home theater system, with your surround sound and your huge television or screen, or it just all depends. To me, I don't care.
It really does. I'm okay with just watching it. I've got no surround sound. I've got no bar. It's just my TV speakers, and I'm fine with that as long as I can get in. Because usually I watch it here in my basement. If I can get the mood right, lights down, everything fine. Okay, that's
I mean, not different. I mean, yeah, you wouldn't have the anticipation of like the opening night. Like any of like
like
MCU movies, for example. Now I know before the kids were born, I remember like Transformers, like when the first Transformer movie came out. Yeah, we went opening night, like midnight, or just that kind of thing. But then, personally, the older I get,
well, yeah, no,
doesn't really excite me anymore. I mean, I'm just
midnight
like
showings is just I don't do that. If I can get into a night before at like 5:00, 7:00 at the latest, I'm good. I became old. I can't stay up as late as I used to.
Right.
oh,
I'm right there with you.
dude.
I don't want to be falling asleep in the middle of a movie that I wanted to
Well,
see.
I will never fall asleep in the middle of a movie. Usually I'm working the next day and I need my sleep.
But my point is the anticipation.
Yeah, no, I get
it's
you.
just that. But now you're
like
like
anticipation. Like who all? Obviously, people were excited for Wonder Woman. How many subscribed to HBO Max to get it on Christmas Day? Like the anticipation is still there, but it's not the same. When you go to a theater and you have that group mentality of a bunch of people you don't know. When I went and saw Endgame, the line just to get in because it was the fan event. And you got like the special like bucket when popcorn, little pop, like you got all the special stuff, and like the line to get in was out the door down the sidewalk.
Yeah,
and I ran into some random
That's
people.
what I don't
the
miss.
entire time.
I don't miss that.
That's gonna be the problem. That's gonna suck.
I don't miss that.
Oh, you don't miss that. Oh, dude,
I don't miss all the people. Now I miss the anticipation of seeing it. It's like, oh, I got my tickets. But the people part, no, I'm perfectly fine going in and like 20 people max in there. I'm perfectly fine because I'm like, this is my space. Because I've been in plenty of theaters where people are sitting like right here.
But I don't know. But yes, but something like Endgame where you have that group mentality and everybody's watching it together and experience it together. That's what I'll miss. That's the thing I'll miss.
That's true because there was one guy. I think we went and watched the Spider-Man 2, the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2 with the train scene.
Yeah.
There was this guy on the other side, Brian. He was just, whoa! Oh, I mean, he was getting all in it. We're just like, okay, this guy's enjoying it. And we're like, dude, you good? He's like, man, did you see that? It's just
yep.
Oh yeah.
That's hilarious.
Hey, real quick, Travis has joined us. Sorry, he was knocking on the door for about 5 minutes. Had to message me, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, dude."
I had to put in chat you were here.
I saw that, and I was like, "Travis wants in," and I would start looking through all this stuff. We communicate through like 5 different channels here. So, what's up, Travis?
Before I say anything, there's only one question. Joe, is that Gold Ranger T-shirt?
Heck yeah, it is Gold Zeo.
That's the reason I jumped on. It just drew me on. It's like favorite Ranger, not favorite color. But favorite Ranger was in that, so yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm coming on. I gotta ask him because Greg won't ask. Greg just skipped. Greg only seen the part with you should change the title from Panthers versus Packers. Then he just never focused on the part of, can you please ask Joe my question that was really important.
I saw in there, ask Joe my question. I was like, what question are you talking about? Like I must have missed the
we got a good discussion.
You must have read the headlines.
Yeah,
just
like Americans do. Like good Americans.
Okay, jumping into what Joe and we were talking about, I agree with I'll miss that. And it was more so I had more of those moments back before social media was big, like Twitter.
I hear an echo.
Yeah, I did
sorry.
that time.
I don't hear
okay.
echo.
No, Sarah was listening to it on the YouTube. I think.
Yeah. I was
okay.
I was like, ooh, I'll turn it down. Sorry.
But yeah, like I found it happened more. I found those moments happen more before social media, like the Dark Knight, even Dark Knight Rises and Iron Man. But when we got to like 2012, 2013 beyond, I found it was like spoiler field everywhere. So I found those moments were less and less.
Mm.
But just for example, I was in the theater. I went to watch Wonder Woman. I could have paid for it video on demand. So I could have paid the $30, but I chose the next day to come into the theater and watch it. And I just want to tell Chris Nolan because I'm in a place with 10 active cases, and this is the most we've had in a while, but it's because people are coming home for Christmas and they're testing positive while they're self-isolating. So we're getting the numbers, but they're not spreading. It's just they're a self-contained person. So even so, like I didn't feel uncomfortable going to the theater, and there's only, I want to say 50 seats maybe max that are sold for the Wonder Woman, and they were pretty close to sold out. But for a solid hour and 15 minutes, there was a guy, just say I'm on the right, there's a guy in the back left corner, and he's coughing a lot. And he could just have smoked a cigarette. I don't know. Or he could have had a
Yeah,
cigar.
but you don't think that, though. That's not the first
That's
thought.
what I'm talking about.
Right.
It's completely changed now. And I'm in a place with barely any cases. And if you have a case, you can just go to the hospital and
Sitting
you
there
won't
like-
have to worry about having to sell your house and everybody coming for everything. And like they take care of you. You get paid. You get 2 weeks pay if you get COVID here. You just got to call in and you get 2 weeks of pay.
Travis,
I
I'm
don't-
moving where you're living.
It's the country.
I'll bring
but
all my
it's
books.
It blows my mind. You guys got $600. Everyone's like, "Woo, $600." I was like, "We could get 2,000."
No one's going woo.
Yeah,
Six-
nobody's
six
going woo.
times.
I
We're
don't
not
know
getting.
what
We're
you're
not getting
talking
into that.
Six
like one
times. You
beer.
guys are the greatest country, and it blows my mind. Blows my mind. You guys should be getting double what we get because But anyway, I was super nervous, and I was never like that before. And I'm a big crowd person. I don't mind being in crowds, like social experience, and I'm pretty chatty, happy-go-lucky, going up and approaching people. But when people sniff now, when people cough, I'm on alert. I'm like looking where I'm
Just
to,
like-
and even though it's not like a big city at all, like it's like there's only 500,000 people on this island, and like I said, there's only 10 active cases, and it's spread out throughout the island. So it's not.
Right.
I'm not worried when I go to the grocery store or anything. But when I hear you got somebody cough, even there, I'm on alert. Or somebody's wearing their mask and it's like under like their nose is still what? Just don't wear the mask because you're
Their
just
chin
So you
diaper.
gotta-
Wearing their
Yeah.
chin diaper.
yeah, you're defeating the purpose. Like
Right.
it takes. I'm very proud of myself that I have never said anything yet. I wanted to so many times. Just either pull up the mask or take it off. We pick either or. Don't matter. Like you're not doing nothing here. And a lot of times, employees, I'm just like, come on, guys. It's like, come on. We're just So when you go it back, take it off. It's fine. But interacting with people. But yeah, I was completely. It was really bothering me throughout the first hour of my Wonder Woman experience, and it didn't come in until right after the Themyscira scene, which got me choked up. Like I loved that scene. Like,
Oh yeah, me
loved
too.
it. Loved it. And then that coughing started, and it drove me insane for a solid hour of trying to pay.
Because that's all you
attention
can
to that.
focus on.
Yeah.
Like every time I cough, I was like, and then the people would come in. I don't know what we're going to call them. I'm just going to call them the theater workers, ushers, I guess we'll call them. And they would do nothing. And he'd be coughing and sniffing, and I'm just like, this is driving me insane. And I'm not next to him. I can't imagine the people that are next to him or he's but he was back corner, so there's people down below him. So like his cough is. So yeah, Chris Nolan, before you go theater experience, I want you to stick you into a theater where there's someone coughing in the corner, and let's see how much you enjoy the theater experience from that right
You don't
now.
have to worry about that.
Like that's just
He
drives me
got his own
crazy.
home theater.
I
Probably.
know that's what drives me crazy. Do they have that?
Mhm.
But also, Greg, when you were describing like they should put a table in there and make it, I was like, you're basically describing your living room, dude.
Right. Right.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
well,
that-
just
but
have it in your
that's-
living room.
But that's
Well,
what's
the
gonna
theater
happen,
I
though.
went to,
Right.
I was able to have a pint, and you could either get a pizza, you could get a burger, you could get
Guess where you get all that
I
stuff.
could get all that, but I have to bring it in.
Turn
so I just sneak it
around.
all in.
Turn around, Sarah.
but,
Right.
but that's what I'm saying. It's like
It's.
I don't have a
it's-
screen that big though.
And you know what? I
Right.
really equate it to this. What drives me crazy. It reminds me so much of. Even then, I was like 10, 14, and some of the like I used to read a couple like national newspapers for sports columns and stuff, and there were actual big time columnists that for a few years were like, we're not putting our stuff out on the internet. Our stuff is only in the newspapers. That's the only place you're going to be able to get it. And guess where every one of those people went when they realized that you could get the bigger audience and the industry shifted? They went to the online. They went to podcasts. They kept adapting after the first stand of dinosaurs being like, no, our newspapers, no. They adapted after that, and the industry changed. It's gonna be the same thing here.
Always
COVID just
does.
accelerated it because they were
Mhm.
WB, HBO. I should have HBO Max, but
Mhm.
WB was so mismanaged. They were in such financial straits before they got the merger. They didn't want this to happen. This merger, this is not what WB wanted, but they don't have full control. AT&T had the control, so they sold off a bunch of like license. They knew they were going to try and build a streaming app. They had the DCEU one already ready for launch. They knew about it in 2017 when they re-upped some of these licensing deals, thus screaming over till 2025 for getting HBO Max in my country. I have to have it as an add-on, an extra $9.99 to the app I'm already paying $9.99 for. So it's terribly frustrating. Those are the decisions. And when I hear people say like AT&T got to clean up or Warner Media got to clean up for those mistakes, they didn't make those mistakes. That's what they inherited. And you can't really like you can only throw so much money. Like for Crave, if they gave up the contract, I'm gone from Crave tomorrow. Like I'd say a whole load of people would be. So it doesn't like their streaming service is on thin ice until like it's skating towards 2025 in real dire straits. But there is no incentive right now to give it up. So I'm going to be 4 years, 5 years without HBO Max, and that's 30 million customers that they're not going to be able to get. So it's going to be a while for stuff like this. So this whole theater thing, especially for America, what you guys, but I just don't see a problem with it. I see it as such a win-win, and you can make it to the theater like Joe did, rent out a theater. Like I bet you that was an awesome experience. So you had a great time.
It was fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
Well,
And you could choose who you were sharing your theater with.
Correct. Yeah,
You
the
could
only
just
problem we
stand
had
outside
was
and
that
sell
we
tickets.
apparently they overbooked and we had to move theaters.
Right.
And the theater we got was freezing cold. So
Yeah, I was listening to that. I was.
other than that, yeah.
You could just stand outside and sell tickets for $15 a piece, make a little coin doing it. You know, see the movie
Oh
yourself.
my god, hustler
Would do
baby.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, Travis. You said you had that experience with the person coughing for Wonder Woman. I know that whenever you got done, you were like, "I know that guy ruined Wonder Woman for me," and then you went back and watched it
No.
the second time and realized, "Nah, Wonder Woman ruined Wonder Woman."
I'm not as harsh on it as you. Well, you will get spoiler little. We'll get my actual thoughts on DC Alliance this coming Monday. Like I'll give a little quick. I wish I could have made it. I had some other commitments.
Fair.
Did you win?
And no, last and finals.
Damn it.
Oh.
You know what I really hate too? It really frustrates me is I'm super competitive, and yes, it's for charity, and yes, rah rah, everybody wins, yay! But
But you
I
still
really
lost.
hate it when people don't take it seriously in the middle of a game, or when you're losing by one. Be like, at least we both lost. I looked over on the bench. One of the guys said, at least you know we came close. So I was like, dude, there's still 2 minutes left, and we're down 2. Like.
We got plenty of time.
Getting
I was like,
bigger.
I will hit you with my own stick. And my look at me, he's like, this is just for fun. I said, this is never for fun.
It's like the Happy Gil,
Perfect.
the
I kind
Billy
of grew
Madison,
up on a.
Yep. Happy
the
Gilmore.
Billy Madison hockey.
I grew up
No,
on
the
a
Happy Gilmore.
no inch given. My uncles were basically my big brothers, and like we had broken collarbones and everything just playing sports with them. It was it was fun, but
Wonderful.
competition, yeah. So I was really frustrated by that, and I really bummed that I missed. But they raised over $2,000 just for
That's
him,
good.
Oh,
just
that's
for
awesome.
medications, like because you don't have any other expenses besides prescription if you don't have any prescription insurance.
Mhm.
But even then, it's not super high, but still, it goes a long way. So I was happy to help that, but I really missed. I listened. It was really fun. I'm glad because I don't normally listen when I'm on a podcast. So I loved all your thoughts. It was great, and I can't wait to talk about some of them. I have some of them written down, so I can't wait to talk about some of them.
Good deal. It's gonna be a fun time. Well, I think that's about all I got for 2021 and streaming and how it's affected us. Did you guys have anything else you want to put out there about it, or we want to move on to the next segment?
Let's go ahead and move on. I'm
Fun
good.
stuff. Okay. Well, before we do that, real quick, let's go ahead and take one of those there ad breaks. Helps keep the lights on for us, folks. If you're watching on YouTube, you get to see how the sausage is made. Everybody else, you just get to enjoy the sausage. So sit back, relax, and we'll be back in just a minute. All right, and we're back. So with this one, I just threw out some things here, just some favorites that we had from 2020. There wasn't a lot of time to go see movies and do a lot of stuff. Not time, but the opportunity to go see a lot of movies. So some of these would be kind of simple to answer, I suppose. We can go any genre you want to hear, any kind of thing. Just want to know what kind of entertainment you like. So, Travis, you just got here, man. I'll start you up with this one. What was the best movie you saw of 2020 from any genre about anything?
Oh God, Greg. See, this is where when I wasn't sure I was going to be on. This is where reading the whole show breakdown would have been great.
Hey,
Well, do
don't
you want me
worry.
to come back to you, give you a bit to
He
think about
showed me the stuff, and I still don't really have
Yeah.
an idea.
it?
No, trying to think that.
Yeah. I was thinking about it. I didn't see a ton of movies, new movies
Maybe,
this year.
very
so.
well, maybe Birds of Prey. I'm trying to think.
Birds of Prey was great. The Way Back. I really liked The Way Back.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Tenet. I really enjoyed Tenet.
There you go,
Yeah, it was a
Tenet.
little bit more Nolan-y than I like. Like he didn't explain enough. He was more like, you got to understand it. And I'm just like, why don't
Right.
you just Inception this, where he basically explains the whole what's
See,
going on for 15
I'm really
minutes.
mad
then
at
I know
myself
what's
because
going on.
I didn't get a chance to see Tenet. I really wanted to see it in theaters, but
Yeah.
that's when everything was like blowing up. And I'm like, I'll wait. I'm good. I do want to watch it, but if I watch it at home, am I going to get the same?
Yeah, I think you will.
Okay.
I think you will.
You,
because
you will. You will.
it's
Be
not-
glad you're at the house because you're going to have to
he's-
rewind in a minute.
But he's all about like theatrical experience. The main experience from that movie for me is the time travel and the whole and his take on it. So
Mhm.
you won't miss that from watching it at home. I think you'll enjoy it. Yeah.
Good.
You might be able to pay attention a little bit more because it seems like if it was on, like I said, if it was on a larger screen, I think I probably would have missed some things.
It's more to take in. Yeah.
Justice League Dark Apocalypse War.
Ooh.
Or is Apocalypse War? Am I
Apocalypse War.
Apocalypse War, yeah.
Sonic.
That's a good one too.
Sonic was a good one.
Sonic
saw
actually
Sonic. We took the kids to go
surprisingly
see
was
Sonic.
a good movie. Yeah, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would.
Now hold on. Was it good because you saw what they wanted and you were happy with the replacement, or like was it actually like it was gonna be a shit movie and you wanted to go see it because they actually changed it? I took my kids. They loved it. I enjoyed it.
If they had it what they originally were going to put in there, that would have gave me nightmares.
But that's what I'm saying. Like they released.
I'd rather see the
what was-
drawing.
They really that would have been fun. The entire movie with that. But that's what I'm saying. Like they released what it would have been, and the whole internet was in an uproar.
Yes.
And then we got the new, which looked more like the cartoon
Way
Yes.
better,
and more like
yeah.
the
Yes.
game. Did that actually make it better? That's what I'm
Joe,
getting at.
For me, I'm a Sega kid.
Okay.
Reluctantly, I'd rather Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I was
it's,
Nintendo. Sorry.
I didn't have the choice with my parents. I blame the blast processing commercials. They sucked me right in. Blast processing, I need it. Anyway, I think I would have seen it anyway. I was really disgusted by the first look.
Same. I would have saw it
But
either
I
way
think-
myself.
I think what it does for me, it made me more excited for a sequel. I think
Yes.
I would have been less taken out. Like I would have been more taken out of the movie if he looked the way he did. But I still think the story would have made me laugh and I would have enjoyed it. But it would have been hard sometimes. He wouldn't have been so wholesome, or wouldn't have. I don't think I would have connected with the character as much if he looked the way he did initially. But I still would have watched the film. They would have got my money for the film.
I don't know if I would have. I don't. My son didn't want to see it. He saw the first iteration. He was like,
See, and my daughter saw the first iteration. They were excited. Like,
"Oh, my
that's-
kid won't." He's like,
at
"That
that
don't look like
point-
Sonic."
at that point, I realized this was not a movie for me. I'm like, oh, okay, I know. What was it? Was it Pokemon Detective Pikachu? Was that this year?
Potato
Last
Peach.
year?
Yeah.
Was that this year?
Yeah,
I think it was last year.
I thought it was last year. Okay, that was another movie where my girls saw the trailer, and it was over my head. I was never a Pokemon fan,
Mhm.
but they saw it and they were excited, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is not for me.
Yeah, that's
I
what my
enjoyed
son
it.
was.
It still was a good movie. I still liked
Yeah.
it, but that's 2019. We're not talking about that one.
I may have thought of some poker rap when you just said that.
Well, that's what I'm saying because I think
My
the only
little
two
brother
movies.
was like Pokemon.
I think the only two movies I saw in the theater, previous to this, I think it was Harley Quinn and it was Sonic. So, and
So
of
I
course,
did see. Was
me being the great mother I am, my kids watched Harley Quinn the other week.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Look, at least you're not. Well, no, I'm not even gonna say that. I don't want to throw her on the bus. So was 1917? Was that this year or that was last year? That was last year, right?
I think it was last year because it was
19, sorry,
last
19.
year's.
Okay. Because I saw that in
Oscars,
theaters
I
this
believe.
year, and that was a great movie. But that's besides the point.
I watched that with my old man a couple of days ago
Dude, it
before
was
I came
so
back
good.
in. He loved it.
Because I'm trying to think of movies. Because I
We had
was
Onward
like I said,
that came out.
Onward was good.
Mhm.
I did like that one.
Had Trolls too.
People
Onward
were
was
saying
good. I
Soul
did
was
like
a
that
really
one.
great movie. That was
Soul.
2019 technically, correct?
Which one?
Soul?
That was 2020.
2020. I mean, yeah. Sorry.
Oh,
I said
I got
2019.
one we haven't seen. We haven't said.
What's that?
Zack Snyder's Justice League trailer #1.
Yeah.
Sorry, couldn't help
It was
myself.
confirmed. The confirmation
enough.
heard
Oh,
around
yeah.
the world.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh man.
I had to actually go back and look at the list because it seems like everything that's like May, like from January to May, it's like I don't remember
Yeah.
because
I
I
had
swear
a
it feels
list
like it's like
down.
5 years ago.
I had a list of what I was going to go with, but totally just
Round of
Because I had to
applause.
pull up a little
Yeah,
Yeah,
list.
Round of
we
applause.
just went, that's right. We just went off the rails. Hey, yeah, so check it out. Katie messaged me. She's like, "Let me in." I was like, "Oh, I didn't know you were coming tonight." So
Oh,
that's awesome. Who we
who
got?
never does that.
so hold on. This was going to be a quick show, huh? It's going to be woo!
Hey,
Congratulations.
lady, congratulations!
Congratulations, everybody! Round of applause. What's up, Katie? See, you were just like Travis. You heard what we were talking
Thanks.
about, and you're like, I got to get on this. I got to get on this. So, well, we just went over favorite movie from 2020, or just some of your favorites from 2020. You got anything? I don't know how much you were listening there. Anything you want to put out there? 2020 favorite movies?
Oh gosh, I think my favorite movie of 2020. Ooh, that's a tough one.
I think we were kind of talking about
Tenet.
basically theatrical releases. I mean, because real
I mean,
like
Soul
I mean,
was
where there's like streaming.
Soul was streaming. Soul came out streaming.
Yeah, Soul came out streaming.
So did
I did-
Mulan. Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, I just haven't watched Mulan yet.
but yeah.
I'll probably watch that at some point.
Yeah.
I'm not holding my breath.
I would say probably the one off the top of my head is Tenet. Safety
Okay.
was also a good one. So yeah,
There.
that would be my. I'm trying to get my new webcam to work. It doesn't want to work apparently.
So I can see it. So it looks good.
No, that's This is my laptop.
Ah, I got you. Okay.
So
Two different views. There we go.
Ah.
Well, all right, cool. Well, I think we've covered pretty much every movie that came out there. There wasn't, like I said, we didn't get the opportunity to see a whole lot of stuff in theaters. I think people were joking about Birds of Prey being the best theatrical release of the year because it was the last one before COVID hit and everything shut down. So
I went and
And
saw
I like
Bloodshot.
it. What?
I saw
Buckshot.
Bloodshot in theaters.
or Bloodshot.
During this,
It was just right. So it was like the week before everything shut down.
hmm
Or here in America. That was part of my because I had a Regal's cinema
Right.
card that I could go see in the movie. I went with a couple of friends, and I think if I did not have them, I would not have enjoyed it as much because we just made fun of it the entire time.
I was going to ask, was it as bad? Is it as bad as I think it is?
It's not terrible. Like, it's still an okay movie.
Mhm.
I'd probably watch it again by myself, but I'm not really like gunging for it,
Oh,
Mhm.
Just say
You know
no,
what?
because that sounded like no. That sounded like a no. Just admit. Just
It's
say,
not a no. It was
"Mm."
fun because of going with having my friends and having that experience. I can laugh at those parts that we made jokes out of.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
would you watch it by yourself?
I would watch it by myself
Okay.
and
You
laugh
know
at the
what
parts
I
that I
forgot
laughed at
about?
before.
What's
you know
that,
what I
Gabe?
forgot about?
What
What?
did you forget
The
about?
Way Back. Really
Yeah,
good.
Joe
Joe
mentioned that.
said
Yeah.
Dude, I love
Yeah.
that was a great movie.
I'll have to go see that.
was-
It's
that's my number one movie.
That was
Okay.
such a great movie.
yeah. I have to go check that out. Man, it looked really, really good. I just never got the opportunity to see it. So, all right. Well, let's talk about some favorite series, like just a streaming service series, television series, a season of something.
Do we have to say? I would say, does it have to start in 2020, or can it be just a season in 2020?
It can just be a season of 2020.
Okay.
Like, I'll just go ahead and say, I know everybody's gonna say The Mandalorian season 2.
Our girl.
Yeah, I mean, come on. So,
I
throw some
actually
other
totally
stuff
forgot about that.
in. Yeah.
I was saying because it came out like in May. I was like, oh my God, I can't even believe it.
I watched Upload on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
That was actually
Yeah.
pretty fun.
Okay.
That one's on my
Doom-
list.
Doom Patrol.
Doom
Doom
Patrol's a good
Patrol.
one.
Umbrella
Patrol was a
Academy.
good one. Umbrella
Oh,
Academy was
Umbrella
a great
Academy
one.
was awesome.
Yeah, really like that one. I watched. I'm trying to think. I had a couple of them right here. in my
Schitt's
head.
Creek.
Schitt's
Never
Creek's
seen
actually
that.
not a bad series. It's
Oh
actually
my
not
gosh.
a bad series at all. Yeah.
If you want to know me, each one of them is like part of my personality in case you haven't figured that one out.
Oh, I'll tell you one. This one definitely didn't come out in 2020, but I watched it for the first time in 2020. I watched Breaking Bad for the first time this year.
Oh, really? Mm.
Yeah, that's an amazing. That might be one of the best series I've ever seen in my life. Like just an
I've only
amazing.
Yeah, Brian
seen
watched
up to
that one.
season 3.
Mhm.
Oh, it's amazing, dude.
I never
You-
did.
you'd absolutely
I know
love it.
how it ends, but I never did finish 4 or 5.
Right. That was kind of me. I knew how it ended. I knew things going into it a bunch better because I'd seen little bits and pieces of it here.
Yeah.
But me and my wife actually sat down and watched it from beginning to end this year, and it was just, oh my God, so amazing.
I'll say I watched season 2 and 3 of Westworld this year. 3 came out, but watched 2 and 3 of that.
I just heard the first season is like the badass one.
First season's amazing.
That's the
First
badass
season's
one.
amazing. 2 and 3 they're
Mm.
okay. It gets a little weird.
How in the hell can it get even more weirder?
Just watch it, you'll find out.
I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I said that about Doom Patrol too. So I mean, it's
Yeah.
They said, hold my beer.
Yeah,
That's
it was
basically.
like,
What about Stargirl?
Stargirl
yeah, that's what I was
good
saying,
out there.
Stargirl. Yeah,
Yeah,
because
amazing.
that was because I remember watching that on my lunch break for that one show for like those 2 months I was at that other job because I
Did
remember
they have
watching
like
that.
2 episodes?
Travis,
Can't,
it doesn't
Joe.
count.
It still can.
Look,
It ended.
Travis held
It
up his
ended.
arrow mug.
Prodigal
I'm still
Son.
not over it.
I don't blame you. It's this past season was the best.
Everything else
Season.
was crap. Crap.
Did you guys hear of Prodigal Son? I heard about that one.
I've heard of it. I think I don't. But I.
Oh,
I
is that
mean,
the Hannibal Lecter one?
No,
Not the
kind
kind of,
so,
sort of something along
okay,
those
so
lines.
it's this cop. Well, not private investigator. He works with the cops. He's a
the profiler type deal.
yeah. There we go. He's a profiler. Works with the cops. His dad was a serial killer, and so
Is it Michael Sheen?
yep,
Okay.
Michael Sheen, and then I
Mhm.
can't remember his name, but he played Jesus in Walking Dead.
Oh, okay. I know who that is.
Mm.
It's
I know of the
it's-
series. I just haven't seen it.
It was good. It was really good. So, check that
you're
one
saying
out.
that actually, I watched Walking Dead for the first time this year too. So I know it's an older show, but I watched the whole series from beginning to end this first time this year. So
I watched the
Good for
cutest
you.
little show yesterday with Claire.
I dropped out for like season 6. The
yeah, it
player.
Yeah, I
definitely
gave
got
up
worse
at
as
some
it kept going on.
I did watch the video. I did watch the episode where Rick supposedly died, and then he didn't actually die. And yeah,
Walking Dead's not
He's
my
getting his own
thing.
movie.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't great. So
What, Sarah? What did you say? The player?
No, I was just gonna say I saw the cutest little show with my daughter Claire.
Claire.
Claire, she's 7. Yeah, and she'll find, like, we've been watching The Miraculous Ladybug and all this kind of mess. If she finds something, she attacks it. But it's called Julie and the Phantoms. It's like a little 9-episode series, and it reminds me a lot of Gem and the Holograms, which I'm thinking maybe that's what it's kind of like. But it's really cute. I really enjoyed it from her standpoint, and from like being a kid watching it, or like a little teen watching it, because it's like some teenage kids. But then as a mom, I'm like, oh my God, this is so cute. I'm just like, oh my God. I just like being able to watch something with my kid. And like, I think I even put on Twitter, I was like, can we have a season 2? Because I've got to see what happens to this, because it was so cute. And we just binged it like one afternoon. I was like, oh my God, it's so cute.
Yeah.
Because I picked on Claire. I was like, you think he's cute, don't you? You think the guitar player's cute? She's like, yes, I do. I was like, okay.
there you go.
Perfect.
I had something in common at least,
Yeah, I know. It's just fun. When they get older, you can do stuff like that.
All right, I got a list here that I started just writing stuff down. Community. Watched that for the first time this year.
I watched
absolutely
that like when
fantastic.
it was actually going through. Joel
Yeah.
McHale's
Yeah,
character
same.
had this one like speech or whatever. I wish I could find it, because it was the funniest thing I have ever heard. Oh my gosh. He just
Don't
went
watch
Great
off.
show. Arrested Development. Watched that for the first time this year. Another
Don't watch
It's on my
great
list.
show.
Mhm.
they
That's on your list?
actually they have just for another thing about Community. They have the best episode of Community taken off Community.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. I think they actually that was the one you were telling me that I didn't get to see because how I
It's
was
the
watching
best.
it,
The
yeah.
best. It's the best episode of Community in my opinion. My favorite episode. It's so funny. And the thing that's like, there's blackface in the episode, but it's extremely not right, and everyone calls the person out for
Mhm.
it and says how terrible he is and how
Mhm.
awful it is. Like,
Well,
it's
that's the
pointed
character
out.
anyways.
Yeah, he's a big idiot.
He's horrible anyways.
He's insane. The character
Yes.
is insane, and everyone's like, "You're a terrible person for doing this." And it got pulled, and I was very disappointed because it was so funny. Like, I first time I watched it, I was crying,
Yeah.
Mhm.
crying.
That show made me cry quite a few times.
Until Pierce and Donald Glover. Troy.
Yeah, once
Until
they
Pierce
left,
and
it
Troy
really
left,
fell
it was
off.
like,
Yeah, they really. You even told me when I started watching that, you were like, "Yeah, it went on about 2 seasons too long," and you're right, it did. It went on a few seasons too long. But I watched a show called Living with Yourself. Y'all ever see that? It's on Netflix. It's with
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, really,
I
really
wanted to
great
see
show.
that. Okay.
It's like 8 episodes, and they're like 20, 25-minute episodes. It's really, really, really short. You can watch it in a couple hours.
Mhm.
Really, really great show. I can't wait to see season 2 of that. In the middle of watching Flight Attendant. I started that in 2020, so I'll consider that in there. That's a great show. Really, really exciting.
Like I said, Silicon Valley, that's one that's really,
Yeah.
it's
Check that
we
out.
discovered that one today, so that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Didn't Transformers come out?
Transformers did come out. The
first
animated
one.
Mhm.
But then now they have. I just started watching was it Earthrise? I started watching that one yesterday.
Oh, is the new one out?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're gonna be covering that soon. be on
Mm-hmm.
you,
I know
so.
Nathan will be on top of that one.
I'll check that out.
I didn't even realize it because I just happened to look it up and I'm like, wait a minute, that's the new one. So yeah,
It's supposed to be tied into the previous one, correct?
I think
yes,
previous
it's
It's like a trilogy, right?
Yeah, it's a trilogy.
yeah.
of,
There's like three
yeah.
separate it's almost like you kind of look at them like books, and then each book or each has a episodes. Like the episodes aren't really that long at all. So I mean, you
Right.
can sit there and like binge it really quick. They're like, what, 8 episodes maybe? I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But I remember they're being really short because when the first one came out, it was like it might have been 6 episodes because we got to about like 4, and Brian's like, "Well, I'm gonna finish it later." No, I'm gonna finish it right now. So you know.
We're going to
But,
talk about what we're anticipating in 2021 too.
Oh
right?
yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Next
Because I had a question. I have
It's
something for
2021.
you guys I want to
That's right.
ask everyone. And then
That's right.
I'm super nervous about it too.
I
Not about the question, just about the whole
Thing.
property.
I
The
got
whole
you.
property.
Oh,
Hey, she
cool.
did
I got-
it.
Oh my god, what a badass
Yay!
corner. What
oh,
a badass
nice. I
corner.
like that. You got the camera change. That looks good. Very, very nice. I like it.
Sorry.
Um,
I
no,
had
you're
to Skype
good.
up, and that's why it wouldn't work.
I want your Star Wars things.
I like the Batman shadow box thing there. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Says everything's impossible until somebody does it.
True. Very true. A couple
actually
more
a
ones I
fact.
wanted to highlight out there. I got to see Clone Wars the last season
Woo!
this year.
Such a
Fantastic
badass season.
job.
We forgot.
I watched all the Rebels.
I have not watched Rebels yet, but
I watched
Yeah,
all the
get on
Rebels.
that, Greg.
Yeah, I know. Well, this animated show I do, the superhero discussions, it keeps my animated queue full. And speaking of that, I have got to watch the complete Superman the animated series from beginning to end this year, which was amazing. I'm in the
You
middle of
guys are-
Batman the animated series, really fun stuff. So
You guys are still on
I
Batman.
remember
the
Batman when it
animated
came
series, right?
out. I used to
We
watch
did,
that when I got
uh,
home from school.
we're about a
Clayface.
third of the way through season 1.
Clayface
Okay.
was the last episode.
Okay, cool. Because on my rundown reviews, I pimped you guys out. So that's not coming out until like middle of February. So I'm sure
Okay.
you guys will still be on there by then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Greg HBO Max has it as of today too. Just for
I
you
know.
are.
Yeah, because
Very
we
awesome.
Now I'm gonna start watching it.
I'm so jealous of every one of you. It's not on any streaming services here.
I mean, I got them on DVD. You want me to send them? To
Yeah,
you?
I'm looking for
I'll
that.
send them to you.
I they're at Walmart $20, but they were sold out when I went there from the Christmas
Ah.
stock. So
Mm.
we're on a stupid island, and it takes like a week or two to get
Stupid
stuff.
island.
Fair.
It comes by ship. A lot of it comes by ship, literally.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it's very frustrating sometimes waiting
Fair.
for things to get restocked. Just like 12 Funko Pops on this island.
Nice. They're gold on your island. All right. Is there any other shows or series you guys want to point out that you just really enjoyed in 2020
Nice.
that we haven't
I got that one.
mentioned yet?
It's up there. Trying to think.
That we
Well,
haven't
series.
Yeah,
I can't
series.
remember.
I mean, I guess it could
You
be.
know how far I had to think back for stuff that was like
Just the
July
movies?
back.
What,
Right,
oh
yeah.
my
what did they
gosh.
ask us? I wasn't paying attention. What did they ask us?
Like the series in like
Gambit.
2020.
Queen's
Just
Gambit.
Oh yeah.
What?
Queen's Gambit on Netflix.
I still need to watch
I
that.
had-
Queen's Gambit was very good. You're
And
absolutely
Jack
right.
watched that.
Ryan was another one. I remember watching
I
that
haven't
one
watched
too
that
because
Yeah.
if they don't bring
We
back
still
another
need to do
season,
our
I'm gonna
Patreon
riot.
on Queen's Gambit.
We do. I might have to rewatch it to do it, but honestly, I'd rewatch
Queen's
it.
Gambit,
It
another
was, it was
excuse.
really, really good.
Wrong
Travis,
Queen's
that's what I
Gambit.
thought about when I first heard that series name. I was like, no way. Hold on a second.
Don't like
Oh,
that.
show
Not
is
a-
so good.
Look,
Not a
WB's coming
prequel.
out with a show all about the Batmobile. I'm sure they could do one all about Oliver Queen's boat that crashed.
Oh yeah, Spearhead.
They
Yeah.
just- oh,
But yeah, Travis, I was right there. I was like,
Arrowheads.
what? For real?
All right, y'all. It's been my 20 minutes for halftime. I gotta go.
I
Like
hear you.
good luck.
What's the
Drink-
score?
Good luck.
Ooh, what is the
Oh.
score? I'm not paying attention.
35-14 OSU.
Oh no.
You have somebody that can come back though, Katie. Also, Greg didn't do it when you came in. Congratulations to Katie for getting married. We just
We
clapped.
clapped. They were clapping
we all
for.
clapped. I
Yeah,
didn't
the
want to
listeners
put her
didn't know.
business out
The
there. I
listeners-
didn't want to put
Don't
her business
care.
out there.
I was
Oh,
gonna. Well,
yeah,
okay,
I
I was gonna go
understand, but
ahead.
without-
We need
yeah.
this good. We need this good kind of shit in 2021.
I
so
agree.
congratulations, Katie.
Congratulations.
That's what I
Let's
asked
clap
Katie
again.
because it's like
Congratulations,
one
Katie.
of the good
Thanks.
things of 2020. I was like, yeah, it's Katie getting
Mhm.
married. So
It is
yay.
awesome.
It wasn't
Yes.
2020, but we're counting it for 2021.
Oh no, I
31st,
looked-
right?
I looked on the 31st
Yeah.
yesterday. So
Good deal. Well, Katie,
I
thank-
like ending the year on a high note.
There you
That
go.
was awesome. That
That's the way
was
to do
awesome.
it.
And tell Matt congratulations as well.
Yeah.
So.
I will.
Yeah, you can't ever look back on 2020 now and say everything about it sucked. So that's good.
Mhm.
It's a good way to cap it off.
Exactly.
Hey, good luck, Clemson. Let us know what's going on. I'll keep up what's going on. If you want to hop back on,
Yeah, I'm
let
gonna
me
have to pull
know.
the
Just,
score up.
message me and we'll get back on. All right.
Yep.
But thanks, Katie.
Bye, lady.
Ah.
All right. So last little bit of these favorites here. Let's talk about a favorite book / story you read / listened to. So this could be anything you comic book series you read, trade paperback, audio book you heard, anything like that. So Sarah, get your hands up. Go ahead.
I read Revan.
Mm.
That is the bomb.
Okay.
Because I've started Throne. I know you've listened to Throne.
Mm.
I'm the one, I can't listen to audiobooks. It takes me out of the if I hear somebody else's voice, it throws me off. But that's how I came across Super Civil Servant. So Greg, I will give you credit. You need to do audiobooks.
I like it.
Because you got one of those voices where it's very, yeah. But kudos to you.
Well,
So I did read Revan. I got through that. I'm probably about this far through Throne, and I've got a couple other Star Wars books because thanks to Katie and talking to Katie and Nathan when I was on Star Wars Alliance, and they were talking about a lot of stuff. I wanted to get into it. So, and then also I think it's Light of the Jedi, which I think is released next week. I've got that one pre-ordered too, so I'm hoping that I can read that one and get in on the Star Wars discussion on that as well. But
Okay.
for the most part, I mean, the only other books I really read are Star Trek books.
Yeah.
That
Nothing
was
wrong
another
with that.
series I wanted to mention, Discovery.
Oh, Discovery.
Mhm.
That was
never
another
watched
one.
it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to talk about that soon because season 3 is amazing.
I started watching Lower Decks this year too. That's a really good series. That's
Isn't it
fun.
though? Isn't it
Yeah.
though?
I forgot that one.
I
Yeah.
forgot that one too. God, oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
There's been some good
Yeah,
stuff.
I saw that the Beyond Belief guy was on with Star Trek Discovery. What's going on with that?
Which one is that?
You guys, yeah,
I don't
my
know.
jokes are ruined on you. Jonathan Franks was on it. He did Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
Fact or fiction?
Thank you, Travis.
Travis would
Wait, do they not know what that is?
No,
When
I don't know.
Joe, that
dude, I love
feeling-
that show.
That feeling you get when you're 100% certain that it's fiction, and
Yep.
then he goes, "That was fact." I used to look. I watched it with my cousins. We looked at each other with like the eerie look of, like that could.
Dude,
Well, you got
love that show.
God, what's the actor's name? The one that's the
Unsolved Mysteries too. Same kind of jam for me.
Mhm.
the admiral he's the admiral now of the Federation, but he was like one of the guards from like the Mummy. You remember the guy that had tattoos on his face from the Mummy? Don't you remember the?
Oh,
I
not
can't think of his name. I can't think of his name.
I know the guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the guy.
He was the.
No, it's
I don't
what's his
remember
name?
the.
It's not
Mummy. I
Ahmad
watched
Best.
it.
No, because it's
He was the one that went around with Rick. He was like in the black
Omar.
that had like the horses and all that kind of stuff that led him to. He was like the guard that protected the, I guess the tomb, the whatever, the burial
Mhm.
site. It's like- because as soon as I saw Discovery, I saw
Right.
him
Odette
as the
Fair. Odette Fair.
Yes. So when I saw the Discovery, because I loved him anyways. I mean, I've seen him in some other stuff, but I was like, oh yes. But
See
yes.
that guy.
Yes, him.
Ah.
Him. Mm-hmm. Except he
I
got
know.
short gray
That's him
hair now.
now,
His
but-
little weird ears. His little ears like stick out.
He was also in the Deuce Bigelow Male Gigolo.
Yeah.
That's what I saw. Now. I was like, I've
yes.
seen him in something else, but I can't remember what. I was trying to
Yet
think
another
about
movie
Yeah,
it.
that
was-
lionfish.
Yet another in the endless long line of movies that would never be able to be made today.
No,
Oh
God, no.
man. Yeah. All right.
Behind Shallow Hell.
Yeah, I
Did you
lo-
ever see Malibu's
Love
Most
Shallow
Wanted?
Hell. I was filmed in Charlotte. Like I used to work.
You
at
can
the
love where it's filmed, but it would never be filmed
Right.
there.
Yeah.
But Malibu's Most
Yeah.
Wanted
Oh,
with Jamie
God.
Kennedy.
Yeah.
That was the funniest
remember
movie,
that
but
one.
you cannot do that one now. No.
White chicks, come on.
Well, I was just about to say
Yeah.
White Chicks. I was like, I don't think. Yeah.
Or actually, you want to go a movie you can never do.
Blazing
Andy Mel
Saddles?
Brooks movies.
No, The
Blazing
Ringer.
Saddles.
Yeah. Andy
Ringer
Melvin, yeah.
definitely, yes.
The Ringer.
Yeah, The Ringer you definitely couldn't either.
Airplane.
Oh, but that was such
Yeah,
a good movie.
you're
That I really liked The Ringer only because Johnny Knoxville was friends with all those people.
Yeah, and it did
Every
it
single one of them.
It show all of them in such
Right.
a positive light.
Exactly.
Like that's why
Exactly.
I enjoyed that too. Like
Yeah.
the jokes in that weren't even that funny to me compared to
Yeah, just
Actually
having the
showing
background knowledge of
yeah.
no, these are his friends. He wants to, show his friends. Like it's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm trying
Anybody
to
have
think.
any books?
Yeah, I was saying if I get
Sorry.
books. Well, I'll jump in real quick. I know you were talking about the Star Wars books.
Mhm.
That's what I've been on a kick with lately is audiobooks, and I did all 3 of the Thrawns. I read, what is it? Alliances, treason, and
Thrawn. It's just regular. First one's Thrawn.
Yeah, see, I'm reading Thrawn. I'm reading that one right now.
Yeah.
And
I did Alliance and Treason this year. Audiobooks of those.
Great books.
So good, man.
Yeah.
I picked up a Batman Beyond 2.0, their volume 1 last 2 weeks ago, and it was fantastic.
That one was good.
I can't remember who was the artist on it, and I'll be remiss if I didn't say this. Patrons, you can, or people, if you're not patrons, you can go to Patreon and get these. But myself and Clay reviewed The Last Ronin Part 1 for Turtles. That was fire. Like,
right?
So good. And Part 2 comes out. We're going to go on. Joe, you're more than welcome to join us if you read it too.
I did it a little bit later because
we didn't go right on the 12th. We were like close.
Then yes, maybe we'll talk.
I think it dropped on the 18th, and we didn't do it till middle of December, like a month after. So it all depends, like it's with schedules. But you're more than welcome. The offer is extended. Yeah,
we'll talk.
Yeah.
All right.
Highly recommend that one. Than anyone. You too, Greg. You got to.
Yeah, I definitely want to check it out.
If you're a fan of Ninja Turtles.
I listened to Sandman the audiobook for the first. That was actually my first audiobook ever. It's what got me into it. The Neil Gaiman one. Wow,
I've heard good things about it. I haven't checked it out yet.
And this one has voice actors on it too. So like everybody, it's an audio drama.
Yep,
absolutely amazing. Great purchase. If you're with Audible, check it out. Like or any other app where you get your audiobooks, highly recommend that one. Really enjoyed it. And I'll go ahead and be vulnerable here. I've wanted to read this one for a long time. Just never really got into it. Never had a reason to or something to make me go do it. And it's so old now. But I'd read Long Halloween for the first time this year. It was pretty good.
So we all have our books, Greg, that we've never read. The same thing with movies. Like I've never seen the Godfather movies.
Same.
Yeah. You've never seen Lord of the Rings movies, right?
No, like I've seen parts, but I've never seen the full. Like I don't think I've ever sat down and watched the full. I know I feel bad because
those were ones I went to midnight showing to see. All three.
Yeah, like I have two buddies that they've been hard, like even still to this day. Like I actually got a message from my friend on my birthday. Like, hey, why don't we drop everything and you come over and we'll watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy for your birthday?
Well, so as fun as that would be,
all day. Yeah.
I've got the 3 or the 4 hour like plus ones, like the extended edition, where I'm like, if I want to watch all 3 of them, it's a full day of doing that, or I could just hop on the TNT when they have a marathon of it,
right?
And
let
just
them
come in and out.
Commercial breaks, the parts I don't need to see, and just
exactly.
Yep.
Still get I'm gonna watch the full version, so I'm gonna actually.
Yeah, dude.
Sit down. I'm gonna try and do it before Justice League comes out, just because I want to just have another epic adventure in my head.
You should go back and listen to the Super Civil Servants review on those. If you do that, you'll be like, oh wow, these guys knew what they were talking about.
Well, I'll be re-downloading the episode again because I did listen, but skip the Lord of the Rings talk, obviously, because I didn't.
Nice.
I'm trying to think anything else books wise.
One of the ones I read was a new one, Basket Full of Heads, from DC. It is a Joe Hill who he does Lock and Key, which if you heard me on World's Finest True Believers, I love Lock and Key. Like I have every single.
You had the Lock and Key.
I got all of it.
I got all the keys.
I don't have the keys. I didn't go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
That gets expensive.
Oh yeah.
As I look at my $1,000 worth of comics. No, so I read that one. That was a good one. Plus, really, all of the Hill House comics over at DC that they introduced, they all actually were pretty darn amazing. Another one I read first time this year, read it in like January. Murder Falcon by Daniel Warren Johnson from Image. It's heavy metal to like the nth degree. It's basically this guy, this front man for this band, that his guitar brings this murder falcon or this falcon-esque person to life, and they go fight this evil creatures that are taking over the world. Actually, on my podcast, Comic Book Rundown, we covered the 8 issues. Amazing series. Go check that one out. Or actually, just honestly, that's a book that I would recommend reading. I got it from the library first, and as soon as I read it from there, I'm like, I have to own this. It's an amazing story. So,
nice.
go, check that one out.
Definitely Murder Falcon. I'll look it up.
Mm-hmm.
I was telling just so because we're on comics, the last I don't think I've said this on Super Civil Servants, but the
Right.
last 2 months I've been finding, or a month and a half, I've been finding a lot of comics for hella cheap, $4 and $3, like trade paperbacks,
Yeah, dude, you've been
hardcover.
showing those, and I've been kind of
Mhm.
jealous.
So
Only a little bit because I
I
have
asked
most
him, I
of
was
those
like, "Do we
already.
have a
but-
Dollarama
Yeah,
down
oh.
here? Because I want to go."
So I went yesterday just to check out the one next to where I live, and there was an older guy that stood up at the bookshelf part, and he had a Superman in his hands. I think it was Grant Morrison Volume 1, which I
Ooh.
already have. I already picked up there for $3, and I would look at it and I was like, crazy prices on the books. And he turned to me and was like, yeah, this place has really good selection, and there's a couple other Dollaramas that have good selection, but there's some really bad ones as well. I go a lot, and I was like, oh, I got a little bit of competition. Then he looked at the lady who was like just a clerk there and asked her if there's any books in the back left that haven't been unpacked, and can she go and check. And I was like, whoa, I have never done anything like that. I just go and see what's on the shelf, pick out something, and leave. This guy is playing for keeps. So
Yeah, yes.
I left while he walked out with his he was in the lineup to pay for that issue that I already had. So I went to another Dollarama, picked up an Aquaman Volume 1 hardcover, 2016. And when I was walking out, got in my car, he just got out of his car and started walking to the Dollarama.
Nice.
So I was just like, 1-0ing. 1-0.
It's when you walk
we
by
go
waving
again.
it.
We go again tomorrow. We go again tomorrow.
Nice.
Love it.
Yeah,
That's
they'll both
awesome.
be waiting there when the doors are open, standing outside in line.
I've done that before.
course, yeah.
So most of these I got are from like dinged or dent sales, 80% off kind of sales. I don't know if you guys know DCBS, Discount Comic Book Services, if you heard of them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They were based here in Fort Wayne for the longest time, moved to Kentucky, then came back to Fort Wayne. They don't have a brick and mortar store anymore, but that's where I got most of these. They would have sales, and I would go there as soon as they opened, and I'm rummaging through these boxes of dinged and dented. There was like a good month at every weekend where I was spending $400 just
Wow.
getting stacks.
Joe, you should have did a YouTube channel. Like my favorite YouTube channel is
This was
from
like
Texas.
4 years
It's
ago.
from-
I didn't even do any of this stuff.
my favorite YouTube channel ever. The guys are based out of Texas. They're called the Game Chasers, and they go hunting for video games. And they're amazing.
Nice.
They're so funny and down to earth. Like they
I think
just seem like the actual guys that you would meet and chat with to be the same as what they were on the show.
Yeah.
And I was just like, dude, you could have done the exact same thing, because they'd hunt for games and just show up the games at the end, what they cost and what the actual value were.
Yeah, I
And
think
you
I
could do the same thing with comics.
think they're on. I think I might have seen something similar on that Prime about.
They have a convention every year in Texas. I'm not sure where. It's called Retropalooza.
Oh, nice.
There's been like 8 or something, so it's been a while. But yeah, that's it's one of the only YouTube channels I actually watch, like everything they drop, because I find it really funny. But yeah, when you said Texas, I just went, especially Fort Wayne. I was like pretty sure one of them lived there, so I was like,
That's Fort Wayne's in Indiana. Just so
Yeah.
you know.
I know where Fort Wayne
Are you
is.
thinking
No,
of
but
Fort Worth?
no, he's
He's
in
from
Fort Wayne.
moved to Texas. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I figured that there might be some. I don't know how big Fort Wayne is, so I figured there may be
I
something
do.
like they might know.
Yes, Sarah.
Yeah, I
Or
do.
maybe
I have
he
been
just
there.
maybe obscure YouTube celebrities are something that lands in, like, people would remember. So
Well, I think the last time I went to a comic book store, I think Gage walked out with a Deadpool comic and a Two-Face figure, and I think Claire got a Frozen comic. So,
Yeah, I try to limit. I try to just get a subscription to my comic book shop. That way, I'm not going I'll go through there and look at stuff that I want, and I'll see stuff's going in the future. And I'm like, hey, when this comes out, I want first edition, this and that on my subscription, then follow to that. That way, I don't go in there and fall into that rabbit hole, because I will spend a lot of money. It's
I walk around every time I go in
I'm
mine.
bad
Yeah.
for the figures. It's
I
like
can't-
if I see any figures, I'm like, I need that. I need this, and this to go with everything. I need the whole collection.
Yeah, for me, a comic book shop is like a strip club or a casino. I go in there with this amount of money, and I'm not gonna spend any more than this. Like if I'm going to the ATM, if you're at a comic book shop, a casino, or a strip club, and you're going to the ATM, you're doing it wrong. Something's wrong. Like
You gotta limit yourself.
exactly. Good, Travis.
Hey, I have a hot take, I guess, for guys. I don't see the appeal in strip club whatsoever. I've hated every experience I've ever had there.
Yeah.
The booze is way too expensive.
Yes.
The girls where I was to, no, and
Said no.
no, just no. Very, very aggressive and forthcoming, and no, didn't like it.
So Travis, get this. The last time I went to a strip club, which had to have been at least 4 or 5 years ago, I'm getting a lap dance from this girl, and she's got a Deathly Hallows tattoo on the back of her, on her lower back.
That's all you could think about, huh?
Well, no, I'm like, oh, that's a really cool tattoo. Like I really, really like the movies. I'm really looking forward to reading the books. She turns around. She's like, "There's books." I'm like, "Here's my $1. Get off me. I am too old for this."
Walk out of the room,
Like
slam the
I'm
door.
like, "What the?" Okay.
Well, to
One of
Joe's
my friends
point,
in college was a stripper.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being a stripper.
Yeah,
Just
nothing wrong with that, yeah.
know if you're gonna have a nerdy tattoo, know the material. That's all I'm saying.
and
It's like
my
those
experience-
like the Chinese characters. I'm like, are you sure
Yeah.
that's what it means?
Yeah, you should-
Are you sure?
my experience, though, I was like, honestly, I flipped up when they used to have Motorola razors. I don't know if you remember those cell phones.
That's the best phone ever.
But I flipped it up to text my girlfriend saying how terrible this was and could you come get me? And the bouncer come over and said, "No pictures," and crunched the phone into my hand, crunching everything. And I was like, I hate this place. And I completely bailed, left. And that was the last time I was ever in a strip club. And I don't think I ever will set foot there again.
Yeah, no,
because
I don't
there's
think
such
you're
thing
gonna
as
miss anything,
porn,
man.
people. Porn. Like there's no difference to me. Like I don't
no,
understand.
Well, how do
right
you
there
face
with
when you
you.
can't touch it?
Rating on this.
There you go. Thank you, Sarah.
No, I'm right there with you. It just there's no point in going anymore.
Why don't you go
Not
to
that
the-
I
why don't you
really
bring the family to the
enjoyed going
zoo?
before, but it was. I mean, it was fun to go hang out with my friends and pick on
Yeah,
them.
that was
But
some more
like
things,
that was
yeah.
that was really about it. Like
Yeah,
really
that's the
didn't
thing. Go
get- I
go
mean,
with a group
there
of
was-
friends.
Go
for-
rent a movie
no reason.
theater.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
true. I'll do that now.
Well, you could rent a movie theater and rent strippers at the same time and really have an experience at the movie theater, right?
Or you can just rent a
I'm
movie
good.
theater and just show showgirls.
Greg, are
Yeah,
you just
that's a
you
big
shouting
waste of
at
money.
porn ideas now? Like it sounds like you're shouting at porno ideas. Like
I don't want to
Movie
come to
theater.
you, Herman.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, yeah. Where the hell?
Put that squirrel back in the cage.
I brought up
got it. Somehow
I
got to
brought
Pee Wee
strip clubs.
Herman. You
Yeah.
somehow
Yep.
chased it to Pee Wee Herman.
and that's the full circle right there.
Yep.
Oh,
That's how it
Lord.
happens.
Let me ask, can we do the 20? I have a 2021 question.
Yes, I tell you
Okay.
what. Let's
Have to
take a
leave.
real quick ad break, and then we'll hop into the 2021 stuff. That's all we got left. Sound good? Cool. All right, folks. Real quick, we're gonna take an ad break. We'll be right back, and then we're gonna leave 2020 behind and hop into 2021. So we'll be right back. There we go. Sausage is made. Travis, you got something 2021? Go ahead.
I got distracted by Joe's amazing shirt again. Sorry. It's like, damn, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I bought this. I
pretty
ordered
cool.
this online. I got the Lord Draken sweatshirt as well.
Mhm.
So it's got the Lord Draken design. I ordered it at the beginning of December. It came about 3 days ago.
Oh,
Nice.
jeez.
Very nice.
It's from China. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I knew it was gonna take a minute.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, not nice that you got it. Not nice that you waited long. Sorry.
I
I will. I
Go
will.
ahead, Travis.
I won't speak on Zack Snyder's Justice League because couldn't be more excited for that. My super scare. Oh, damn!
Nice.
Yeah, I'm
Okay,
excited for it.
you're a little bit more excited than me. Then.
Yeah.
I'm a big baby.
But go ahead. No, you good.
Something I'm super nervous, excited, scared, nervous about is Titan season 3
Mm.
because they've had a lot of good stuff in those 2 seasons, a lot, but there's been
But-
2 terrible landings, a couple
Mhm.
terrible starting points, and some muddleness in between.
Bad decisions.
Uh,
Yep.
The show could be one of the best comic book shows on TV if it was managed right. I'm gonna be honest. I think the writing room needs to be a bit smaller, and the showrunner needs to have more control. Like you need to have a strict vision of what you're doing because it kind of goes back and forth sometimes. But I really want this show to succeed. So what do you guys think it will, because it's going to be on HBO Max? Do you think it's going to do any better, any worse? Do you think like they've learned from their mistakes? Do you think we'll get a good season finale?
Did
Yeah, we
was
said
it
that after season 1 too. After season 1, you were like, oh
Yeah, it
no.
is confirmed, Joe. That's going
well,
to
you
be
know,
on HBO
but
Max.
say was it confirmed before they left DC universe?
I think so.
So was it? So what I'm getting at, was it like gonna have the DC universe budget, but now HBO Max picked it up and they're gonna increase the budget to maybe make it better?
I'm going to assume that they knew that they were going to put it there before they announced it, like a few months before they announced it, because if that,
because that was in the works way before.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
correct. Then I'm gonna say it's gonna be I'm up there with hoping that it's gonna be good. Like it's gonna have a better start, better finish. The finishing is the big
Is the
thing.
key. Yeah.
like they squandered such a fantastic Deathstroke was.
well, that's what I'm saying. After season 1, after that one, you're thinking, okay, well, that was kind of, and then after season 2 with that finale, you're thinking,
well, and then it didn't help that the beginning of season 2 should have been the end of season 1.
Yeah.
yes,
like just
yes.
straight up.
And that's not anything other than who was running DC Universe at the time.
Correct.
That's their decision of, we're going to give you a second season, so let's stretch this out a bit more and work this out so that we can like tell a longer story.
Yeah.
So
when was the end of season 2? What month was that? Was that like back in the spring?
I think that might have been.
See, that's what I'm saying. I can't remember.
It's been a while. It's 2019. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
was it 2019? And then they
19.
kind of like pushed it back because of
There was no pushback. It was. You mean for them to start filming again? They were just going to start. I think when COVID.
Yeah.
Happened.
Because I know with Doom Patrol, they finished up their season due to COVID. Because
they
were filming.
Kind of ruined their ending, but it wasn't their fault.
So that kind of rushed that one too.
Same thing as The Flash and a couple other CW shows. Their endings got truncated.
I don't know. I just finished watching The Flash a couple days ago. I don't think even COVID.
Oh God, no! It's
just save that.
It's a good excuse that they can use to be like, maybe we can get our shit together for season 7 because season 6 was a goddamn dumpster fire. Oh,
actually, I just finished up Supergirl too. I'm trying to watch them all before the new season starts.
Yeah,
right.
Legends of Tomorrow is the only one I have to finish up.
I haven't gotten over losing Arrow. But I haven't gotten over that.
Arrow, man.
I can't.
At least
Travis,
Arrow
I was
went
crying
out.
over with you, honey. I was like, I can't.
At least it went out on its own terms.
That's
what I'm happy about.
That's what I'm same thing, Joe. Like I wish I could have got more stories. I'm okay, and I don't know.
This season was on. I think because the season focused mainly on the crossover and on Crisis, it made it so good.
But not only that was part of the focus in the present, but it did so many callbacks, so many bringing people back, so much time back into the history of the 7 seasons previous. As a fan that has watched all these episodes multiple times.
I can say multiple once, not
once. I just watched it
way too many times. Okay, way too many times. I couldn't have been more pleased with some of the things that they called back. There wasn't an episode in the final season I didn't enjoy, and that's it. Besides the crossover, which I can't wait. That's going to be one of my unpopular opinions for Fans Without Borders is going to revolve around.
I was trying to think of mine the other day. I was like, ooh, what's an unpopular?
And I'll come with fire for Hector Navarro, who knows nothing about James Bond. And that could be the most frustrating thing in the world to me, saying that having a different Batman, a couple different Batman is like James Bond. Every single actor in James Bond played for Daniel Craig since 2005, Roger Moore was 14 years, Pierce Brosnan was 12, Sean Connery was 11. Like it's bonkers to me. No Batman has ever had 7 years. Christian Bale was the longest time anyone's ever been held the role.
That's still only 3 movies.
Yes, and people say, "Oh, they're making Batman like Bond." If they did, there'd be one Batman for 15 years. So
but even if they did make Batman like Bond, who cares? That's awesome. Okay, give me a new Batman every 5, 6.
Absolutely.
If there could, so if we go back to that model, so we followed the Tim Burton model of you had Michael Keaton for 2 years, then you had Clooney, and then Kilmer, and then Clooney. Those were technically all the same.
Yeah,
they tried that. I'm gonna blame Schumacher partially because
partially.
WB just fucked it up too. But
toys.
Yeah, it's you had that model. It didn't work. So why are you going to try that model again and say you're going to try that model again when it doesn't work? It works for Bond because these guys sign on for a number of movies. That's what they do. The actors nowadays sign on for a number of movies, but when you have a problem, a la Joss Whedon, and they ruin everything and make everybody want to leave, you're gonna you had what are you gonna do?
I think the difference is too is the original Batman movies like Batman '89, Batman Returns. They're a little on the darker side, but they're also kind of campy, kind of over the top. Whereas James Bond has never been. It's always been a serious action-packed spy thriller type thing. So now people want to see these superheroes in this light. So now I think it'd be different if they tried to do it where you had a Batman and every 4 or 5 movies this Batman changed, especially with the multiverse they're doing right now. Anyway, I think it would work better now than it did then. That was. I think they can learn from their mistakes in the past into doing this in the future. And I think you could do that with Batman. I mean, just give me more Batman movies. I'll be fine.
No, but that comparison doesn't make any sense, Greg, because Bonds have never changed as frequently as Batman ever.
Right. Yeah. I don't necessarily mean like Bond, you'll have to have him for 12, 10, 11 years. But I mean, if you're going to do a Batman trilogy, and then next time you do a Batman trilogy, if you're going to go with a different Batman, then give me a completely different guy behind the cape.
But that's what they've been doing.
Yeah.
That's what they've.
Plus, with the Bond movies, they're kind of their own thing. Like there's been very little that has crossed over from like Connery to Moore, or Moore to the other guys.
They're kind of like their own little steer.
A little bit was Dr. No from Connery to Moore. Not much.
But with Batman, if you do that model, I'd be okay if they did that. Say they're telling every single Batman story from year 1 up until I don't know, Rebirth. And you're going to start. So you've got an actor that does year 1, then another same one does year 2. Then he does Long Halloween. Then after that, he's done. And they bring on another guy, and he's going to do Death of the Family. He's going to do the Killing Joke. Like, okay, if you're going to try that model, it could work, but then people might get confused.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'd be good to have, because now you're telling a story from start to finish. And yes, people are going to age out. You can't get away from that unless you're filming
like one a year.
Stuff. Or even
or
one
just
every 4
your
months.
head. Or just your head.
Unless you're like Disney and you have that de-aging technology they're using.
No, just your head.
Although I will say, after watching the new WandaVision trailer and seeing Ross, Thunderbird Ross, I'm feeling a little bit better about that de-aging, because that first trailer with him looked terrible. This new one looked a little better.
Yeah.
So yay for that. But I de-aging is so that's a Disney.
Can I use it?
It'll get better. It'll get better.
You don't need it, Sarah.
Can I use
it? You don't need it, Sarah.
I don't know. Like I'd be for it if they actually came up with a good plan, and maybe actors that all look the same, because you can't just switch one person. You'd have to switch the whole entire cast.
Right.
And then at that point, just make a whole new story.
And I understand what Joe's saying, because some of these Batman stories, it'll be hard to tell it, like bring in a new guy and we're going to tell Death in the Family, let's say. Yeah. It'd be better to have a guy for a couple movies and then tell Death in the Family, or then tell Court of Owls. Like, it's hard to.
Yeah, exactly.
So I understand in a sense, what Hector Navarro is asking for, but it doesn't make any sense, because not even Iron Man. Iron Man hasn't been around. Like Robert Downey Jr. didn't hold the role of Iron Man longer than Daniel Craig held the role of Bond. So what are you asking for if you don't want a consistent? Like, you're saying you want a consistent and you don't want him to go to Bond way, but the Bond way was consistent. Like, this is the character this is the guy for 15 years. This is your Batman for 15 years, and that's what he was asking for in tweets. So it basically screamed to me that you never watched one James Bond movie in your life until Daniel Craig came around, because you definitely don't understand the concept if this is what you're saying you want. And right. It's very frustrating to me when people just taking shots, and it's all shot at Zack Snyder. Yep. It's all shot at Zack Snyder's Justice League. It's thinly veiled, which is
so bad, because this is, even if it doesn't succeed, which we all are pretty much sure it's probably going to succeed.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad because we're probably not going to get any more material.
No.
Well, in the movie side.
In the movie side, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think this will continue on HBO Max.
No, well, he
But-
could be
I hope.
comics too, because they did approach about the comics.
I definitely would be totally into him if they continue in the comics.
Yeah.
But I would love if they continued on HBO Max.
Oh yeah.
That obviously, according to Hamada, is not in the plan. But fuck him. So
Well, I don't know how much of the plan he knows anymore.
I hope he doesn't know
considering-
as much as he says.
Yeah, you
Well,
gotta remember, Zack
WB
Snyder's Justice League didn't exist.
Well, Warner.
Yeah.
People got to realize
Yeah.
Warner Media is like calls the shots for WB Pictures, and they're Hamada's boss.
Mhm.
So he can say what he wants there. And one other thing about the interview, I find it really hilarious that I never heard Hamada give another interview besides the one when he was hired to now.
Mm.
So I find it really funny that he comes out with one now, especially with this HBO Max announcement kind of neutralizing his job a little bit in head of DC Films when there's DC Films that are going to HBO Max streaming service. So I think this is more out of fear of losing his position than anything else, because some of the stuff he said, I just don't understand how that makes any sense when this is your only property in 2021 and you're attaching your name to an article that calls it a cul-de-sac that's going nowhere. That's what you're telling fans. Here, come consume this product. There's no chance of us doing anything with it, regardless of how much you like it. So it's kind of a bold play there. I don't think it will work, but I don't understand why they do this. And thinking with Hector Navarro, he puts out trailer reactions to Zack Snyder's Justice League. He talks about Zack Snyder's Justice League to create buzz and clicks for himself. But no, I'll just do thinly veiled shots because I don't have enough
Clout.
or no, not enough cojones to tag somebody in it,
The
Mr.
testicular
Snyder,
fortitude.
or say point blank why you're talking about this. I'll just say some stuff about why I want DC to do, and it'll be things that I don't want them to do to Snyder Cut. So just like at least with Scott Mendelson, even though he's a little shit, he'll at least tag Zack Snyder and try and like just show himself as the little shit that he is. I'm very frustrated about all that. I'm glad we're not talking about DCA.
Yeah.
We're not talking about DCA.
Well, what else? You got anything else? I know there's plenty of other stuff. We actually only mentioned like one thing we were looking forward to and kind of squirreled off into a whole bunch of the stuff there.
Red Hood.
Well, speaking of James Bond,
Ooh.
I need, was it No Time to Die? Is that the
Yeah.
next one?
Yep.
Because it was supposed to come out in April, my birthday month. I
November.
was super excited. I was like, yes, I get some
April.
James Bond. Mm-mm,
Yeah.
No.
I still need to watch the last one. Spectre? No, yeah,
Mhm,
Spectre.
mm-mm.
I still have to watch that one.
Oh, we've seen all of them. I'm telling you, Daniel Craig. Ooh, yeah.
I've seen all of them. Like
I mean, I've seen them all. Yeah,
every
absolutely.
Bond
I've seen them
ever, yeah.
all.
I've
but-
seen most of Connery. I've seen a handful of more. I haven't watched the other ones. Dalton.
Alton
or-
is very underrated in my
He
opinion.
is. He
very
absolutely
underrated. And one of
is,
his Bond
yes.
films is my top 5.
nice.
See, I always like Moore. Then I like Dalton. Of
Moore's
course, I always
exciting.
like Connery. I mean,
Greg's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
well,
No, I-
Moonraker was my favorite. That was my favorite up until.
I mean, my first Bond was Pierce Brosnan.
Goldeneye.
I started watching
Goldeneye.
Bond.
See,
when
I
he
wasn't
Yeah,
a
that
big
was mine
fan
too.
of Pierce
Yeah.
Brosnan. I wasn't a big fan
Goldeneye
of
was
him.
amazing.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of his.
I mean, the game was amazing too.
But
So yeah,
but Daniel Craig was just. I mean, that's like.
Word salad. I've heard he's done a great job.
You
Didn't
Mr.
watch any
Dude,
Daniel Craig Bond
it
movies?
was amazing. Check him out.
Dude,
Yeah,
we
I
might have
want
to do
to.
a
I love how-
discussion on that one
We,
because I'm
yeah,
telling
we,
you.
we do series coverage on here. We're
I've
about to
re- I've
wrap up
rewatched the
Star
first-
Trek.
I
So
rewatched the first 3 again because I have those on DVD. But
yeah,
Oh yeah, I
I
love
need to
Daniel
get Spectre. And
I'm
watch that
gonna
one.
say
I love how Travis looks at me like, you haven't seen this. I'm like, watch Lord of the Rings. we all have
James
our-
Bond is more important to the culture than Lord of the Rings. Don't even look at me like that.
I think, I think
movies.
people would argue with you on that one,
More
buddy.
books, more movies,
Well,
more.
okay.
You know,
If
I've
you're
never
talking
read a
about
James
more-
Bond book.
If you're talking about more of
I said
something,
pop
then maybe
culture. I said
maybe
pop
you're right.
culture. I didn't say. Like,
I don't. I
nerd
still,
culture.
We're
No,
not
no.
talking about Mordor. I mean,
If you're talking about quantity of like how much stuff they have, yeah, maybe. But as far as importance to pop culture, I think Lord of the Rings is a pretty damn popular.
I said it wasn't popular, but
just
I'm
like
sorry,
Harry Potter
dude.
to Jay's little friend over
Not
here.
every guy wants to be. Not every guy
Yeah, it
wants
was
to be
really-
Gandalf. Not every guy wants to be Gandalf. Every guy wants to be James Bond. I'm sorry. You can like what's going on here? Oh my god! I
I
gotta
think
watch
everybody wants
Lord
to
of
be
the Rings
Frodo.
now.
I mean, you know.
I gotta watch Lord of the
do.
Rings now.
You do. Now I got to watch
You
James Bond.
drunk black
How
girl.
about now Ghostbusters Afterlife?
Ooh, I do want to see that.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
How it because I remember seeing I think when we saw Sonic, we saw the trailer in the theater and
Mhm.
I'm like,
when it kicks in, when she starts up. Oh my god.
and then you got Paul Rudd and he's looking at the oh shit, what do they call it? The little
trap,
trap.
the-
Yeah, the
the-
trap. And you're like, what?
Like,
And then you see, then they pull up the tarp, and you're like, yeah. So,
well, and then they's like, well, who's your grandfather? And shows the Egon, like, oh,
yeah, I'm like, yeah, you
like,
know, there's some Spanglers. You know, there's some Spanglers.
I enjoyed the was 19 one, the one all girl one. It was
I
good.
enjoy that one. Yeah, I thought it was a nice. It was just a different little take on it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I didn't like them trying to kind of like force feed us the old stuff, and seeing
it was
Harold
just a
Ramis's
different
bus was
view,
good.
yeah.
No, and yes, but I still enjoyed it. Like, it was on TV, like TBS or
Yeah,
something.
I like watching
like
every now
a
and again.
month
Mhm.
back, and I'm like, okay, you know what? This is still fun.
Yeah,
The
Especially-
impromptu dance at the very end that Chris Hemsworth's character does with all the characters was like weird. But I'm glad they put that in the credits and not in
but
the
the
film.
fact you had everybody back in there, you know, you had
Well, yeah,
Murray,
it was
you had
cool,
Aykroyd, you know, you had Annie Potts. I mean, you got to see her. You're just like, there she
Yeah,
is.
it was cool
And even
callback.
Winston, I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and of course, if Harold Ramis was still alive, you know, he'd be in it too.
Well,
so-
they had the bust of him in there.
yeah. So I mean,
that
it
was
was.
cool.
I want this Ghostbusters to do what I hope the remake of the Ninja Turtle movies would do, but didn't. I hope that they like inspire a new generation to love the characters as much as the first movies did for me. Same thing with the Ghostbuster movies. Like,
Mhm.
my God, they
I
didn't
actually
win it to
like
the
those reboots.
Oh, I don't hate reboots. I'm not saying nothing like that. I still don't think they had the heart that the
Oh, they
first
did. Yeah,
one
I'll give you that.
has. Like, it's just
but
like
look, we got actual CGI character like turtles that looked
we got Krang.
turtleish,
We got
except
Krang.
for but we didn't have the Muppet puppet suits
Yeah.
dying in a corner, and that horror that I have to remember from time to time.
The first one is still like,
First one's amazing. Yeah,
I
no,
love
the
the first
original is
one.
amazing. When
And
when
I-
I cover that and run down reviews, you want to come on for that one?
Oh my God, I'm already
Okay.
there. I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
Yeah.
It'll be a year, but I'm still waiting.
It might be a while.
You talking
I
about the
got
first
a
Turtles
giant
movie?
list.
Yeah.
The
The
first
original.
Turtles movie?
Original, yep.
Oh yeah, if you got room, I'm in too. One of my favorites. So we covered that one on this show a long time ago too. It was a really fun
We did.
episode. So I
Yeah,
think I
one of
actually
the
dropped
first.
these. I think
One
I
of the
dropped the
first.
sequel to that, the Secret of the Ooze. I think I dropped
was
that
on
last
that
week as a
one.
retro.
For protest.
I remember
Yeah.
listening
Because
to
they
that
didn't
one
use the
after y'all did
weapons.
that. That was.
Yeah. Tony was on that one.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's like that was.
Oh.
Okay, I have another movie that I've been waiting for as well. And actually, I saw this trailer right before Wonder Woman 84. And when you see this nice open mountain range and see this F-14 comes shooting across the screen,
Yeah.
my heart dropped. I'm like,
I thought you were talking about Quiet Place 2.
no. I need to see Maverick. Top Gun is one of those movies that's the first. When my dad bought a VHR, it was like that was the first movie I think we like rented.
Mhm.
And even to this day, when I hear Berlin, what's that song? I can hear it in my head right now. Every time I hear that song, I'm thinking, "Ooh, don't they be watching that?" You know, just like that just brings back my
volleyball scene?
childhood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's like
Top Gun?
when he finally, yeah, Top Gun. When he finally got no. It was the love scene. It was like after,
Oh,
that
okay.
the love scene when he and Kelly McGillis. I'm like, yeah, that's when I was like, even though now I'm an adult, I'm still like,
Will
think it's
there
the
be
ver-
time travel?
I don't think so. I
I'm just
know.
kidding. I'm sure.
No,
there
I
won't.
think it because it'd been kind of rumored about Val Kilmer, about him possibly.
Mhm.
So there's one scene in there where it is like a funeral scene, and I'm wondering if that might be the end of Iceman, because it looks like it's kind of going
I see.
towards like maybe one of the kids, like one of the cadets, maybe Goose's son, which I think that would be super cool. But I don't know. It's just Tom Cruise doesn't age.
Kilmer can't talk, can he? I'm pretty sure.
Well, Well, my thing is, it's like maybe they'll set it up, bring him in, and then something may happen. Maybe he's on his deathbed, or I don't know. I mean, I'm just thinking that might be. I don't know. I mean, I think it would be a nice, since with Iceman. I mean, he was a big character, and I just wonder if they'd have like some of the other guys coming in, like Cougar and all those other guys. But I don't know. It would just be a really cool movie to kind of, you're bringing in a new class, and and maybe there's another Maverick hotshot, like he was, and it's the fact that he's coming back to teach, and you just saw all the craziness that he went through, and him trying to buck the system and this, that, and other. Now that he is the system, so I'm just really excited for that one.
He doesn't really seem to be the system to me.
But
Sarah.
that's
He
the thing
seems to
about
be-
it. It's like he's still the rebel, but it's still the fact of, okay, I'm still the top dog, because I was the lone wolf in
Seems
my
like
class.
those commanders are looking down on him and kind of like you could have our job there, dude, but all you care about.
Yeah,
is flying.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting to
Being
see,
Tom
and I think that's the
Cruise
fun part about it. And when he like pulls it back, and you're like, yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, because when you hear the music, I'm just like, ah. It's like I just got excited. Sorry.
Are you good?
Hey,
better go-
y'all may
you
have
better
mentioned
go.
this when I stepped away. Did anybody bring up the Suicide Squad?
No, we didn't. I was going to say, Sarah, you better watch the movie in theaters, or Tom Cruise will yell at you.
Yeah,
I'll yell at myself because I need to see that one.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yes, that is definitely a movie theater quality one.
No, what he'll probably do is he'll probably do like Patty Jenkins, and he'll complain about how it's supposed to be seen in theaters. The only way it should be
And
done.
then have a Twitter watch party.
Then the next day after it comes out, have a Twitter watch party live streaming it. On the sets.
See, that's what I'm saying. You've got certain movies where you want to see them in theaters. I mean, I want to hear the F-14s. I want to see the flying. That's just, I don't know.
You got a good enough sound system with a couple speakers around. You can feel it.
Yeah.
I know. I guess I've just got a better sound system. Just like wire the house.
What do y'all think about Matrix 4 coming out? Should be fun. I'll pay to see it.
The
I'm
third
more
one
excited
was
for John Wick
so
4.
the third one was so outrageous that
Yeah,
It's
well,
like-
I
it
haven't
it
seen
was
the
still a good
third
story.
one,
It
but
was a
like
good
2
story.
and 3 and forever.
Yeah.
first one I loved. The first one is like
Well, yeah,
I
because
really
it
enjoyed.
was
It's
amazing.
groundbreaking.
Yeah.
And
But
then
it's
the
like
2 and 3 were just like, oh, hey, we have more. Maybe.
It's like the
Come watch.
Fast
That's
and
kinda
Furious
what it
movies.
was.
Like I've checked out the Fast and Furious movies, and I know it's a guilty pleasure for some people.
Mm.
But like I watched the trailer and seeing Vin Diesel like run into a broken bridge and somehow clasp onto the broken bridge with his tires, run off the cliff, slide in the air, and I don't even like. There's no.
I went and saw the 6th one in theaters with some friends, and midway through, I looked at him like, when did this become like, and like they were stealing cars in the first one, right?
Right.
Like
yeah.
they were just
Yeah.
racing. When did they become
Now-
action packed, trying to steal from this world government? Like,
Right.
what the hell's going on
Working
here?
for the government type deal.
Hobbs and
Was-
Shaw is a superhero movie. Like there's
I have
literally a
not- so-
cyborg.
I haven't watched 8 yet, so I can't watch Hobbs and Shaw yet.
Yeah.
Because for whatever reason, I'm a completionist, and I need to watch 8 before I watch that one.
Well,
You gotta
I
get a
assume-
succession.
Exactly.
Well, just like when you watch Hobbs and Shaw, you're just like,
I know what, like, it's gonna be no reason to watch it, but I need to know why, The Rock and Jason Statham left those guys to become their own thing. I need to know.
Well,
I
that's
believe
sometimes
watching-
when you have like franchises like that. Sometimes they get a little bigger than what they.
Well,
had
it also
potentially
doesn't help that
start
Vin
out at.
Diesel and The Rock just hate each other and will never be on the same lot together ever again.
Didn't they have? I can't remember. I think it was Travis. I think you were telling me they had the thing where they had each one of them had to get the same amount of hits in or something like that.
yeah, no one could have a winning blow on the other, like ridiculous kind of stuff.
Right.
But it was like that, like
the series is Vin Diesel's series. Let him be the winner. Oh wait, Rock, you can't lose. Maybe you're not for this series then.
in Rock's defense.
Oh, I
just
love The
saying,
Rock. Don't get me wrong.
There's no way
The-
Vin Diesel would ever take him out.
No,
Correct.
the Fast and Furious was going, and then they kind of like, and
Yeah.
then when Rock
took back up.
injected, it
Yeah,
went
you're
back
not
up
wrong.
because he's kind of like the
He's-
Rock.
The lifeblood.
But I
yeah.
still think it's childish. I still think you're right, Joe. He should just play ball. Like if you're gonna drop a WWF title to somebody you don't think is like, you do the same thing here. I mean, you're playing a character, And,
Well,
and
there was-
honestly, from Hobbs and Shaw, I really thought that after I watched it, I was waiting to see the WWF pictures or films after the movie. Because that's what
Yeah.
it felt like to me, like the Marine. It's like, what's going on here?
I think was it one of the Expendable movies where the Stallone was there was a movie where one of them was mad and would not like lose to somebody else. I think it was like Jet Li or something. They would not deal with the fact they were losing Jet Li, so they wanted a different role in the film. Am I thinking is
There
that
could be
recall-
Jackie Chan. Maybe it might have been.
Maybe I
They
don't.
were trying to get him in, and they didn't get him in there. Maybe that
Sure.
could be.
There was some franchise. I don't remember what it was. It was a big name like Hollywood actor, action star actor that was in this role, and he took like a lesser role or a different role because he did not want to lose to another action star.
Yeah, like Dolph
the
Lundgren. Dolph Lundgren willingly lost to Jet Li. Like
Maybe that's what I was thinking of.
he got the crap kicked out of him by Jet Li. So maybe someone else wouldn't do that, and he took that role because
that could be it. And that's why I'm thinking maybe the Expendables. But
he's also
just-
a chemical physicist or something like that, chemical engineer. He kind of seems like he has a good enough hit about him that, yeah, I'm playing a character. It's no big deal if Jet Li kicks me in the face. Like I'm
dude,
not
Dolph
going to lose.
Lundgren, I love that. I'm looking forward to when I watch the Punisher movie with him in it.
The best
Oh, boy.
story ever of Dolph Lundgren is two people in his home country broke into his house, tied up his wife, and was starting looting his house. And they seen the picture of him on the wall and untied his wife, apologized, and ran away.
I love it. I love it. I believe
Legit
it too.
true.
I
It's
believe
legit
it.
true. Legit.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's
That's
something
great.
like there's actually articles on it. It's not something that you would just see a tweet about. It's oh my god, when I read that. Apparently he's like he was an accomplished world martial artist too.
Mhm.
Or he was.
Huh?
Despite Masters of the Universe.
That'll be your Dolph Lundgren corner here. Thank you.
I was just about to mention Masters of the Universe. I was
I
like,
actually
oh,
watched that a while back. Not so.
Oh.
I
I'll be
actually
watching
watched
that
long
soon
ago.
too.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
I
It's
love
gonna
the
be pretty
retro
cool.
movies, man. I love
I'm
them.
talking about the new
Dude,
one coming out in 2021.
Oh
Ooh,
yeah,
that
I'm
one.
just-
Yes, I do
Yeah.
want to see that.
Kevin Smith. That's animated, isn't
But
it?
that's
On Netflix.
animated, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think
that's
it's
on
I
animated.
believe so.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Uh,
speaking of which, I'm looking forward to the Invincible TV show on
Same.
Prime.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's gonna be really, really good. It's gonna.
Yeah,
Definitely looking forward to that.
Young
Morbius.
Justice season
Young
4.
Justice season 4.
I still
yeah.
didn't watch season 3. That
Oh,
one's on
you're
me.
gonna love
That
it.
one's on me.
You're gonna
That's
love
on
it.
me.
Greg hasn't seen Justice League or Justice League Unlimited, so you can't criticize anybody.
Great.
Oh yeah. I'm not criticizing anybody. I say he's gonna.
No.
love it.
No,
I'm
I
just saying.
thought like I can't really. If I don't criticize Greg for that, I can't criticize
That's true.
you, Joe.
That's true.
Don't yell
Hey.
at me because I hadn't seen it, so I'm sorry.
Hey, Godzilla versus Kong.
You got HBO Max now, Sarah, so there's no excuse. Time to get the
I
sun.
know. I
Time to get the sun.
know.
Start off with Batman the animated series and work your way
I've already
through.
seen that. I've already seen
Yeah,
that.
but has he? Has he?
But I saw Batman animated series when it came out.
You
on
should watch it
Fox
again and
Superman.
follow along.
back in the
Superman.
day. I've seen that one. I remember Harley Quinn seeing her the first time.
Yeah,
Okay.
just saw it for the first time. the
Joker's
other day.
favor.
Mm-hmm.
Joker's favorites, right? Just watched it.
I just watched the Mask of the Phantasm the other day. Oh boy,
Yeah, we got
We're gonna
to.
have to cover that real soon too.
that was
Yeah.
that was a thing.
Y'all excited for Morbius?
What?
You know what? I actually kind of
It's
am.
been forever. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I liked it, but I think if I had watched the series leading into this, I would have enjoyed it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Listen to my review in a month. You'll
Yeah.
see. But
Okay.
yes, Morbius, I'm looking forward to
am.
because
I think it's going to be
comic
interesting.
Mhm.
I think it'll be interesting.
I think so too. I think Jared Leto's a great actor. I think he plays really well. I like the character from Spider-Man the animated series, so I'm interested to see what they do with it. That and of course Venom 2
Sure.
comes out.
Greg,
right?
you're not seeing that character. You're not seeing that
books.
that portrayal.
Oh,
Sorry.
I know.
Not wrong.
Nowhere
But-
near that. Not even anywhere like close to that.
Yeah.
And I'm really interested to see this movie, to see it crash and burn, and to see
Ooh.
the smooth whatever crappy name they just should have went with Sony Marvel Universe. Instead, they tried to complicate it. So Sony's Marvel Universe of characters or whatever.
Mhm.
They
We just have to see the movie. That's all.
yeah, and I don't think it's going to be good, Sarah. I don't think it's
that
I have
that may
no
be the
confidence.
case. It's one of
I-
those things where
I was surprised with Venom. I enjoyed Venom, so I'm not like.
the thing about Venom is, I remember watching it. It's like, am I supposed to laugh this much?
So
Yeah.
the way I
There
like
were some very comical moments, but I think that was just Tom Hardy.
the way I look at Venom is everybody is trying to act serious, and Tom Hardy is in there as a comedy. and that
Yeah, I
makes the
think
movie.
so. And I love Tom Hardy. I think he's
Oh, yeah.
fantastic. But I'm just like, dude, maybe you need to kind of. He was just like so sarcastic, just kind of like because when he did his first change and he tore his apartment up, I'm thinking, and he wakes up the next morning, he's like, what happened? I'm thinking,
Also,
oh,
super dangerous move for Leto, taking this after taking Joker.
Yeah.
Which didn't do any favors for him, and now he's going to do this, which is, in
Well,
my
he's
opinion,
such
has a
a-
very hot, volatile chance of exploding in his face, of getting destroyed for this movie.
Didn't he
well, he's
do
such a method actor
Blade
too.
Runner after he did Joker?
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, I
It
think
came
he-
out after. I don't know if he filmed it after, but
Okay.
somebody but it did come out.
He
after,
may
I'm
be
pretty
doing
sure.
Joker again though pretty soon. For all we
Oh,
know,
He is
I
doing
guess.
Joker
Nice,
again.
We'll see.
Yeah.
see
Oh yeah.
He-
But
we're definitely going to see him again as Joker, but I mean, it may take off and he'll be the Joker in this.
he
universe
said it's
again.
hard
see
to
about
say
that.
no, Greg. He said basically if they can't ask me, I'll do it. So
You know, he wants to wear them grills again.
Yeah. Damage tattoo on his forehead. Hey, I like Jared Leto's Joker. I couldn't disagree with some of the things they did as far as look goes. I didn't think it looked terrible. I enjoyed his Joker. I think seeing more of it that people would like a lot more too.
I'll say
Yeah, I think
after
the-
rewatching everything before Wonder Woman 84, I'm not saying he was the best Joker, but he wasn't terrible.
Yeah,
No. I think
if he
yeah,
did
that's
look
what I meant.
wasn't
Middle
enough.
word.
There wasn't enough to
Comedic.
make a judgment, from my opinion.
Well, I
There
also
wasn't
think he
enough.
should not have been in that movie as much as he was, but that's a whole nother discussion.
I think they should have done it more like, I don't know if you've seen Assault on Arkham, the animated
Yes.
movie, but that's what the way they should have done it.
Yes.
If they were going to use Joker, I thought that's what they were doing. Especially Joe, when they showed the trailer where he's like, "I'm not going to hurt you. Like, I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to hurt you." I
Yeah.
thought it was the same kind of scene of where he had them all in the electrocuting every one of them, and I was like, "Oh my god, they're doing it. They're so smart. They're following Jay Olivia's movie." And
Well,
yes.
and even if they just left it to just flashbacks of Harley's origin, leave it
Yeah.
at that. And then in the future movie, bring him back and bring him in
Yeah.
a bigger role.
Right.
Not have him as much as he was, but that's yeah.
they needed to have more
I
of
wanted-
him.
I just want to know
than
who
have
signed
him
off
even
on
that
his look.
much.
That's my thing. Who signed off on all that?
So I mean, look at
I
him as a
hate
gang
that.
lord. He's a
But-
gang
but
lord.
Besides the tattoo on
He's
the
a-
forehead, I like the look and maybe the teeth. But I mean, I
Well,
can
you
give
know, I mean, he got his teeth knocked out by Batman after he killed Robin. So
Yeah.
it- it's true.
First time he found it after he killed Robin.
Yep.
And also, he can put on more white, chalky type makeup, in my opinion, to cover the damaged tattoo if he ever went more like our classic Joker look.
Mhm.
Yeah.
This is like
But
Joe
it's
said, more of a
also-
street thug
Yeah,
type
a-
mob
and
boss.
if you the three Jokers is a perfect example. That comic is a perfect example. Joker's different every time. Like just
Mhm.
so having him different in the movies and in the TV show and all that. Perfect.
You can have a
Okay,
different
fine.
Joker, but you can't have a different Batman.
See now,
There you go.
But in the
No, you
in the
can't.
reality of Batman's world, it's like somebody can easily pick up the mantle and be Joker, whereas it takes like 10 years of training at peak physical condition to be Batman. So it's not like Batman's going to come around but some lunatic could do himself up in makeup and be the Joker. It's not exactly hard to be the Joker.
I don't know. Joseph Gordon-Levitt was probably gonna be the Batman at the end of Dark Knight Rises. He had how much training?
Yeah, just 5 minutes. Well,
Right.
actually, no, that would
He didn't
have
even
worked.
He was a
He probably-
cop.
He probably would
right.
have been the best stunt person in Nolan's films.
I mean, yeah,
I
I
would've
would have
been-
loved to have seen that. I'm
but
not
his
gonna lie.
name was
But-
Robin, y'all. I couldn't believe they
Exactly.
did that. I was like, his name was Robin.
No, but he had the exact training that would have fit perfectly for all of Nolan's fighting scenes, because that's basically what they are. They're very low level fighting scenes.
super
The
slow.
only
Yeah.
the only criticism I have for him, like, I don't have much else, but he can't do action very good. Tenet was probably his best at fighting hand-to-hand combat to date,
Yeah.
and that's sad to say when he's had the three
Yeah.
Batman movies. But Tenet was some of his best hand-to-hand fighting to date.
Okay.
Oh, here you go, Travis. Here's one I know you were going to be excited for. Space Jam: A New Legacy comes out, starring the King. It's going to be good.
Can I ask you
Can't wait to see
what's
it.
superhero about this at all? Like, what are we doing?
It's basically Superman in real life. It's LeBron James in a movie that's gonna, Space Jam.
Travis,
Yeah.
we know the
Looney,
truth. We know the
Looney
truth.
Tunes. Yeah, come on.
Don't
man.
even
We
watch
know
the
great.
basketball games. Like,
gonna
there's
be great.
Laker games going on, and he's on like podcasts. Like, not even the normal podcast. He's just like, oh, hey, let's do superhero discussions. I'm there with Lakers game on mute, and he don't even know LeBron's in the world. Then he'll check the box score, 37-7. Oh, LeBron was wicked tonight, Travis. And I'm like, Greg, watch the games first, man. Come on.
That's not true. I'm not watching the game right now, but I do watch the games.
I'm just making up. I made up that whole thing just to torment.
Speaking of which, I should turn the Lakers game on here in just a minute. So.
Oh yeah. There's a little bit of the best jokes have a little bit of truth into them.
Sometimes they do. So hey, I'm on the East Coast. They play on the West Coast. So if I want to watch games, I guess usually stay up till 1 o'clock.
I'm an hour and a half ahead of you.
Hey, I hear you.
Have you looked at the Clemson score?
That's right. Well, what else? Anything else y'all want to point out?
I'm gonna put that down right here.
Oh, what's the Clemson score? Oh yeah.
Oh, ugly.
Oh, don't contact Cody right now.
Katie's not too happy neither.
Leave Cody and Katie alone right now.
Yes, they're gonna be mad.
I wonder if this is going to bring Trevor Lawrence's stock down.
19-year-old can have bad games and be a little average, and like he's not a professional yet. So,
well, what's it? Fields against Lawrence? Is that what it's going on right now?
I don't know
Ohio State, yeah, Fields.
I don't know who that other guy is.
It's like 14. It's like 14 in the fourth. So I mean, it's like there's time, but
there's time in college football. Yeah, they can score like 96 points in a college football game. It's insane. Yeah. So, all right, y'all. Let's think about something. I'm trying to think. We're in 2021 now. Anything else? Shows, TV, like movies? Y'all are thinking about, looking forward to seeing? I mean, obviously, I think everything in the Disney investor meeting, any Star Wars stuff that comes out, any Marvel stuff that comes out, that's just a given. We're all super excited for all that stuff. I know.
Well, 2 weeks.
Yeah. So
yeah.
Look forward to
I got to get my mind trained that it's 2021 already. Maybe that was the first day of January, but still, I'm just like, oh.
It'll take me like 3 days. I have to write down the date like 75 times a day. So I'm sure after the second day, I'll probably have it down pretty good. Okay, y'all give me a bold prediction for 2021. Something you think you don't have maybe no evidence for at all that you're hoping for. Just any kind of bold prediction you think you might hear news of or will happen in 2021. Got any ideas?
I'm afraid to say anything. I don't want to jinx nothing.
You don't want to jinx it?
I don't want to jinx a damn thing.
I'll say mine. Mine's a rumor that's kind of out there, and I know it's just rumors, but I'd love for it to happen. I think we're going to see Ben Affleck back as Batman again, beyond what we see in Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Fingers crossed, but yeah.
You think he'll pick that back? You think he'll pick that back up again?
I think he'll pick it back up.
Don't look at the chat.
Yeah, I saw that.
The chat.
That doesn't look pretty.
You will not be like, yeah, that guy's going to roll up and do Batman.
He could be. I mean, you never know.
Yeah, Batman Beyond.
Maybe
going hard for that look. I'll have one and I'll get out of here because it's almost 1 a.m. And I was only going to hop on for 10 minutes because of the amazing shirt, and I'm on for
about an hour and a half.
Awesome.
That's the way it works. Yep.
So it's the power of the Golden Ranger.
Yep.
Oh my God! I just started thinking. I love the okay, good. By the end of 2021, nobody will care about the theatrical release being on HBO Max. None of the general public or the directors will kick up a fuss anymore about the simultaneous release for HBO Max and the theater.
I would say probably by summer, because we'll have a couple out by that point in time. They'll have some numbers, and they'll see that, oh, maybe this actually is a good thing.
And they'll see their bank accounts don't change at all. Don't take a dip because it doesn't
Correct.
affect them at all.
Well, if they don't hit the financial, everybody be happy.
Well, there's going to be a version of HBO Max that has ads. I'm sure they will get some sort of cut of those ads, and it's just like I would imagine as any sort of artist, you would want your thing to be seen by the most possible people. I wouldn't think that you'd be like, no, you can't look at it this way. You only can look at it one way. That's it. That's the only way.
It's very similar to a musician. If they're to be like, you can only hear my music at a concert. If you buy this CD or hear it on the radio, you're wrong. It's like, no.
Right, thanks, Metallica.
Yeah.
Well, and then the studios don't want to take the risk of say for instance, if the theaters do go under, you don't want to take the risk of, that's your only avenue for you to release your films. You know what I mean? It's like it's that gamble, because I think we know the theaters are not going to fold, but I don't think there's going to be as many as there used to be.
Yeah.
You know, it just seems like that's going to kind of shrink a little bit. So, I mean,
We have 2 here. 2
yeah,
theaters on like for 100,000 people.
yeah,
roughly.
exactly.
And one of the theaters has 6 screens. It's like in an old mall. And
Mhm.
the other theater has 12 screens and an IMAX or 2 IMAX screens. And not a big, but and that one's in a mall. So that is we don't have any like big theater chains or anything like that. But is it not very often I can't go see a movie unless it's a big blockbuster. I'm going to have to book my ticket in advance. I'm going to have to be in a packed theater. But
Right.
in a week, I could go watch that movie at a certain times, and just be by myself. So it's a big push at the start, and that's why I don't think we'll see as many movies going to theater experience going forward.
Well, then you have that
Big blockbuster.
competition because if you have
Yeah.
less theaters and, you know, you're trying to, all these, you know, studios are trying to release these films, then you have the competition of, all right, who's going to get in the theater versus who's not.
But even that, there's more people would be able to watch Wonder Woman here. Let's
Exactly.
say in this province that I'm
Mhm.
in, if we had access to HBO Max, then the theater because there's not enough theaters for the amount of people.
I just
Yeah.
think the streaming, you have more opportunity to reach
Oh,
more
you're right.
eyeballs.
You're really
You're
You're,
100%
I mean,
right.
if you want your films out there, I mean, you're gonna, you know, look what Netflix has done. You know, they're started, producing their own, their own films. Amazon's
yeah.
starting to do their own thing. You know, you have these other streaming services that are starting to do their own thing, and they're being successful about it. So
Also,
unless
why
you're
the hell
Quibi.
not the studios? Why
Well,
not?
Also, don't ever anybody show Christopher Nolan the technology of where the thing you can buy for $19.99 that you place your iPhone in and it makes it a projector. No one, do not show him that. Like, do not.
Well, I just think
He'll
that's
go for
just the
company.
old. That's
He'll
just
go for the
old.
company and the technology, and he'll burn them both to the ground. So
Mhm.
Well, Nolan, he's just
Can't have
acting
that.
like, like you were saying, like newspaper columnists
Yeah.
saying, well, I'm not going to write anything and publish it on the internet. I'm like,
Yeah,
come on, dude.
they're
Seriously?
they're the old guard, and we get
Uh,
it. You guys had a method before. The method's not working anymore.
You have
Like,
to
it's
evolve.
stale. Yeah,
Just like
It's
Scorsese saying,
it's
certain
excluding too
film.
many people. It's excluding too many people.
correct.
Like there should be try to reach as many people as possible. Not
Absolutely. Because
it-
what's the point of making a film? Is it to
Well,
make
and
money
then
or
here's
is
the
it to
other
reach
thing:
people?
the people who probably aren't going to theaters, more than likely, if they're not going to theaters to see a movie, they probably don't have a streaming service to watch it anyway. So they're not watching the streaming service, so they're not going to see it in theaters.
Mhm.
Majority of the world has streaming services.
Mhm.
They'll watch it at home in
Mhm.
the comfort of their own home with their own family, with their own popcorn.
Mhm.
Like they'll do that versus going to a movie.
Nobody coughing in the back corner.
You know what the most
Well, you'll still
insanely
have-
frustrating thing about this whole situation is?
What's that?
I bet you the majority of people, if you ask the people that go to the movie theaters if they cared if people at home could watch this same movie at the same time, and if you ask the people at home if they cared that people in the theater could go to theaters and watch this exact same movie, I bet you both of them would say we don't care as long as we
Yeah.
can see the movie the way we
people
want to see them.
The people consuming the media don't give a fuck. It's the
No.
people who
And-
were getting paid for it all. Yeah, it's all
Mhm.
about the money. All about the money.
That's exactly
And
what it is.
I could have
And-
watched that
And
film.
that's not what, and
I-
that's not the point of making films. That's not
Yeah,
the
no.
point. Because there's been so many. Maybe they'll kind of do the better quality films instead of have these crap films. And
well,
you
and
know,
they-
like I don't mind
and
reboots,
most of them will have
but
a-
don't
mo-
have everything a reboot.
sometimes they'll have like the streaming service will give you a good budget. Look at all the HBO TV shows.
Absolutely.
They have the budget to make movie quality TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got some stuff that's kind of not. Like I just watched The Ridiculous Six on Netflix today because I just wanted to put something on.
Yeah, that
God.
one's
And
kind of
that
an older
was-
one, but yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's 2015. Like
Mm-hmm.
that was a direct to Netflix movie.
Mhm.
It had some funny parts, but like I would not have gone to the theater to go see that. Had that been a movie that went into theater, there's no way I would have paid to go see
Mm-mm.
that.
Yeah, I think that was part of wasn't that Adam Sandler made like a 10 movie deal with Netflix?
It was like
and that was
something like that.
his
That's one
10
of them. That was like
movies,
the
yeah.
That
second
one
or
is
third one.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
But also,
I did like Hubie Halloween that came out this year. That one,
Yeah, that was pretty good. I enjoyed that one.
But like, if Joe has a month where he's flat out at work and doing everything and can't get the time to go see a movie, why the frig should he be punished to have to wait another 6-8 weeks? Like that
Correct.
makes no sense to me. Like, why can't he at the end of one of those hectic days crack open a bottle
Reds.
of Pepsi
Oh,
A
and
beverage.
Reds. Reds apple ale.
yeah, dude,
Crack open a beverage.
and crack open a cold beverage
Yes.
and watch the movie in his comfort of his own home, and then get up next day and continue on his day. And if it's another tough day, at least a couple times you about think about the fun enjoyment he had of watching that movie.
Yeah.
But no, it's just, that's not the way some people want to experience. It draws me. That's not an excuse.
Kids
That's not,
films.
it's money.
Kids films for me. Release a kids film. Watch it at the house because I don't know about
Yeah.
Greg. I don't know about you, but some days your kids just your brain fell out your head.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm like that sometimes.
I don't mind taking my kids to go see kids films a lot of times in movie theaters because
It's not your kids, it's the other kids there because you're like,
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, for me, it's like they have the comfy seats, and I'm not really bothered by the kids. That's my opportunity to take an hour and a half nap. Like it really is. Like my kids always laugh at me because if I'm going to go see a kids movie, I'm going on laying the seat all the way back, and I'm probably going to be asleep waiting at the end of the movie.
yeah, but if you're showing it at the
Like-
house, you better do something different.
Yeah.
I just think, I mean, it's like, that's the way I look at it sometimes, like with the kids' films. I'm like, it is fantastic for parents. Stream it at the house because, like I said, it might not be your kids are misbehaving, but it's really annoying when you try to go into a theater full of kids and you're just like,
Yeah.
Freaking love kids.
I love kids too, but it's I'm like, if that was mine,
The guy who has no kids. I love kids.
I'm a big kid, Greg. Like I play with every kid I see. I'm sorry. I can't get myself 3 meals a day, and you're going to tell me to try procreate right now? Like, let's hit the brakes for another 2 years.
oh, Travis, you and my son would probably y'all be two little peas in a pod.
Oh
I'm
my God, I
telling you.
would.
Sword.
Love it.
It's like a big tree.
I'm trying to think of a movie. It's like Travis would be like big.
Yes.
Like,
I basically am.
Yeah.
Or Shazam.
Yeah. There you go.
Keep it superhero.
Virtually the
Walk
same
around
movie,
pretty
right?
blissfully unaware. Yeah, Shazam's a good one. I walk around pretty blissfully unaware most days. Just happy to be kicking.
Your goal tomorrow is to beat the guy at the comic book. To beat the guy.
Oh
at
yeah,
the
he's going
dollar
down.
house, so that way-
I've thought
so
about
that way
that
you
too
can-
many times already today. I'm
Yeah.
fair to admit here. I'm not
Yeah,
admitting how many times.
Like I can see him making his list of things to do. Wake up early, beat so and so. I'm surprised you can get the guy's name so that way you
8
can have like a
a.m.
nemesis.
8
Yeah.
a.m. is when the store opens, but I'm not going to go in because I'm going to give him a couple hours to unpack some of the supplies. So probably around 10.
I hear you.
So you want to like just right there?
Well, it's my girlfriend's birthday on Sunday,
Oh.
and I got to
That's right.
drive 4 hours to her parents to meet her, to see
Oh.
her now tomorrow. But it'll be after I hit up those comic book places.
Right. Priorities. Yeah.
Fun,
Do not
fun.
listen to this, Allison. Do not listen to this.
Yeah, 3 hours.
Like
in,
you did
don't
not need to
listen
know
now.
that.
I think I'm good. I think I'm good.
I hear you. Well, Sarah, you got a bold prediction?
I honestly don't. I mean, it's. And there's a lot of stuff that I want to see. I just hope that a lot of the films that I want to see that are gonna be there. I don't want to have any expectations, honestly. And I know that probably sounds kind of, but this past year has been just so crazy. I just want to look at this year. I want to be surprised.
Yeah.
Like I said, that would be fantastic to see, Affleck as another Batman. I mean, we got Zack Snyder coming out, Justice League. We've got the Batman, in 22? We've got all that. I don't really know what to expect.
We're going to have a.
I want
Henry
some
Cavill
Picard.
announcement.
I know that much.
Ooh, that was gonna be my bold one. Was Henry Cavill announcement? What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I want some Picard.
Yeah.
I need some of that, but I don't know. See what else gonna happen. I need more Star Trek.
Lower Decks is really good too.
Oh,
Yes, Lower
told
Decks is good.
y'all,
Yeah,
I
we missed
told
it. Yeah,
you.
really, really good stuff.
Discovery season 3 has been really, really good. It's been.
I got to try and mentally prepare myself for CW in a couple weeks. So
Yeah.
I
When's
am looking forward
Batwoman
to
start?
Batwoman, yeah. That
Oh,
looks
yeah,
like it
I'm
might be good.
really curious to see how they're going to do that. I'm kind of a little disgusted, but see
Yeah.
if they win me over.
Yeah.
I
Supergirl, I'm
really
looking forward to.
like
They're
that
announced
show.
dates yet.
I really like that show, and I'm like,
And Diggle being announced that he's going to be in
All of them.
5 episodes and directing 5 episodes really has me like.
is there gonna be a green tint to it?
I mean,
Fingers crossed, right?
if they don't, it's just as well for the Berlanti to go to Brent's actual home, Brent from Fans Without Borders, and kick him in the nuts because like if if Diggle shows up on 5 different shows and is not a Green Lantern, after the last time we've seen him, he's opened up a box with a green ring.
Was it a
Well,
ring?
you
I'm
don't
pretty sure it was
know that.
kryptonite.
We don't know
Yeah,
that.
if it's kryptonite,
Because
God
why
damn
not?
it, Joe. I did not think of that. Oh my God, kryptonite. It's kryptonite. That's what it
Maybe,
is. It's perfect.
actually, maybe it was just a box with a green light bulb. We saw that before.
Okay, here's my bold
That's
prediction.
true.
I got you one.
That's
This is my
true.
bold prediction.
All right.
Titans. It's gonna have a strong ending. It's
Gonna
have a
nail
strong-
the
it's
ending?
gonna nail
Okay.
it. It's gonna nail it. It's gonna be. There you go. Just there you go.
Yeah.
That's
Are they
my
going to
bold
be able to
prediction.
explain how electricity didn't affect Diana at all? At the end
They've
of
got to
one,
walk
but it
that one
killed
back.
them?
They got to walk that one back.
But it
They
killed,
can't leave that
Contoy?
one there. With Raven leaving with her, they're walking that one back.
Should be able to throw
He's
snowballs.
coming back. It doesn't matter.
Should be able to
they're
throw
walking
snowballs
that
at
one
whoever
back. They're
decided
like,
that.
yeah, we screwed that one up. Somebody was on shrooms or something because they
Well,
just
not
said
only
that-
that, it's the things of like, not only she gets shot by lightning, but Superboy is standing right there and could have caught.
Well, they're all sitting in the
doesn't
car.
know
Robin's
what's-
getting
No,
his
but
ass kicked. I mean, what is going
all
on?
you
He's
need to
sitting in the
do-
car.
Nightwing.
No, but all you need to do is have that happen when he's chasing after Mercy Graves and all that. Then that's okay. He's had the picture, and I can buy it a little bit more. But
So he's
the
just
fact
like-
that he stopped there going like that when he's
The
the
damn
fastest
dog
of
could
them
have
all.
done more than he did.
I didn't even think about it. Nightwing's little electric nightsticks could
No.
Billy sticks could really
I
take out
don't
Donna
know.
Troy. Like she'd be no match for
Dude,
him.
Come on,
they got to be
Greg.
walking
Yeah.
that one back. I mean, come on.
But I mean, Deathstroke left her for dead too, so it's not exactly like she's been shown to be as strong as, and we don't know where she got her powers or anything about her backstory yet.
Right,
to
she's not the
be
daughter
very
of Zeus.
dismissive. Like
that's right.
I don't know if she's exactly like. has
Yeah,
the
she can't
same-
swing from lightning, obviously.
Maybe
Well,
she
Wonder
just
Woman
won
really
the-
can't either,
Maybe she
but-
just won the competition.
She did.
I don't know how they're going to tell her story, right? Because I don't know. I can't trust the classic comic background, so no telling what they'll do there.
Oh, that girl release date, season 2 release date, Sunday the 17th of January, 2021. So it's coming up soon. If
Okay.
this article is correct.
Superman and Lois, I'm really excited for.
Yeah.
Yeah, that teaser didn't really give me anything though.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna do
I'm
that.
not really
now.
excited about
Yeah, don't need
I-
to.
I watched the Crisis episode there the other day, and it kind of bummed me out a little bit to see him stand up next to Brandon Routh.
that.
Like honestly, it looked like Brandon
There's my
Routh
bold
could, like,
prediction. Brandon Routh will come back as Kingdom Come Superman. Why the hell not?
ooh.
There you go.
Not gonna happen, but
I like
Brandon
it.
Routh looks like he could
I
take
like it.
Tyler Hicklin, turn him upside down, and shake him for his lunch money.
Dude,
And the two-
bringing him back was so great. I
loved
loved
it.
that part.
Loved it because
Yeah.
he's not the fault of the movie he was in.
Correct.
He was asked to copy Chris Reeves, be
Mhm.
his Superman, and I'm gonna be honest with you, he did
Yep.
a fantastic job doing that.
He did as best he could, and I enjoyed it.
The story was just trash. It's not
Yep.
his fault. The story
Yep.
and plot were trash, and that's what was. And that's the same thing for me for Green Lantern.
Yes.
Story and the plot
Yes,
were
yes,
trash.
yes.
The actor was fantastic. I wish we could have took him. Not complaining that we got Henry Cavill for the Superman, but I think he's better than Brandon Routh. No offense to Brandon Routh. I
Mm.
still think that Brandon Routh is really good. I can't believe that we lost Ryan Reynolds as any sort of DC character.
But Reynolds, he wanted to do Flash. He was
yeah, he was-
gunning for Barry
yeah.
Allen, and then he got Green Lantern. He's like, yeah, okay, fine, whatever.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was gunning for Barry.
Well,
Allen.
he was
trying
to-
He was in the Flash. He was in the movie. It was supposed to. There was a movie going to happen, and then
Mhm.
that got
I got
canned.
canned.
And they still had him as a contract, and they just was like, "Do you want to do the Green Lantern movie instead?"
And there's some bad in that movie,
Yes,
Mhm.
Hector Hammond, but there's a lot of good.
Fair Cloud.
Yeah. So there's a lot of good in that thing. I would have loved to have seen them continue on because the next film would have been the Sinestro Corps. Like
Mhm.
it would have been Mark Strong as Sinestro was amazing.
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 Yes.
But then we got him back in DC for Salvatore.
Right.
No,
And he can still play
Savannah.
both those
Savannah.
characters. That's
Thank
what I like.
That's
he can
true
play-
because
he
one
could.
looks nothing like the other.
Yeah.
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 So if you want to tie them in, I got to write down too. You just gave me another unpopular opinion.
Oh boy.
Nice. It's an
So,
email.
no, I don't know. Prediction wise, who knows? Every comic book movie that comes out this year is gonna be great. How's that? That's an unpopular prediction.
Okay.
Doesn't
Bold
matter
prediction.
if it'll be streaming. It doesn't matter if it'll be on in the movies, on TV show.
I just
any
want them
comic
to be
book property.
released. Just let them
Yeah,
be
there's that-
released.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
be
want
released
that.
on time. That's
Yeah.
a good point. Yeah.
Like I said,
Although
my
I am looking forward
list
to-
is
I-
like from stuff that was supposed to be released this year. Now it's gonna be released next year, or
Yeah, I don't
last year, this
remember
year.
when.
You know what I mean?
I don't know when the next season of Lock and Key is supposed to come out, but I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. I need to watch the first season of that. I've heard really
You
good
should.
things. Yeah. Heard really, really good
It's
things.
really good.
So, well, all right, y'all. Well, that's all I really got. We actually went longer than I thought we were going to, just like we always do. I always say it's gonna be a short show, and 2 hours later,
We
here
just
we
let
are,
the
so-
squirrels run free.
Well, this one was more just kind of us getting up and talking about
Mhm.
stuff we hated and stuff we liked and what we're looking forward to. So it's actually worked out pretty well.
2020
not a whole lot of
review.
structure except for bye 2020 and hello 2021.
I hadn't had a chance to talk a lot of DC stuff, so that's why I kind of screwed it up the other night when I was like, the SCS. Greg's like, no, it's DC. I was like, sorry.
Yeah, and then I couldn't get back to you. And I was like, hope she knows I didn't care. Like I wasn't upset about that. I just got to pay attention to the show because I was Cody. I love you, buddy. I hope I was cooking you on Tuesday, buddy. I was
Yes.
cooking you, man. It was fun. Me and Cody, we sound like we're fighting, but it's like me and Travis. We're debating. We're passionate sports fans, so we
Yes,
debate loud.
Absolutely.
So it's just having fun.
Like I listen
All
to
in
their
good fun.
LeBron James debating on jump
Oh
off
my
this balcony.
gosh!
Can't take it anymore.
After next year, when he wins
Can't
another
take it.
ring, and you've admittedly said that when he gets to 5, you'll admit it.
I
then-
never said. I said. Oh my god.
I wrote it down. I recorded it.
Never
All the good
said
stuff. That whenever he
Never
gets
said
there.
five. Yeah,
Anyway.
never said five.
This is
All right,
why
let's
our
get-
order separates y'all.
I don't watch sports anymore, but even to this day I know that Michael Jordan's way better than
Thank you.
than
Thank you,
James.
Joe.
Just
Thank you,
saying.
Joe. Thank you, Joe.
I literally just watched
You
the
and
original Space
73%.
Jam the other day,
Yes.
and I
And when
was
he
like,
jumped-
"There's no way in hell LeBron James is gonna do anywhere as
Well, you know what
good
they
as
say about
Jordan did."
opinions.
When he stretched
Yeah,
his
there's that.
arm and dunked that basketball, it was one of the greatest moments in sports history. And I don't care if it was fake. It
And they
happened.
put it on shoes and apparel and everything else.
You wait for Space Jam 2. It's called A New Legacy for a reason.
It's in
It's gonna be
computers.
yeah. What?
I mean, I'll watch it, but that's
Yeah,
not.
it's a better computer virus, Greg.
I hear you. Well, hey,
Jordan
man,
took it. Wait, one other thing. Jordan took his movie and used it to take a slight at his boss and make him the villain of the movie. The movie's
That's
villain
true.
is based exactly on his boss, and you don't get more petty than that. I love it.
yeah, I love petty people. Let me tell you. Anyway, where can they find you at, Travis?
Travis_156 on Twitter, DC Alliance, and superhero discussions from the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network.
Yes, sir. Sarah.
Find me at My Lady Kitten on Twitter. Obviously here on Friday nights. Sometimes you can catch me Tuesday nights talking a little Panther football.
Yeah.
And I kind of try to sprinkle myself around the little everything else. I actually made it to DC. I've made it on Star Wars. So, I kind of make it. It's
A
like
little-
trying
a
to
little
start to
sprinkle.
get around.
Yeah. A little sprinkle of Sarah is always good.
Yes.
Yeah, a little dash of Sarah. So. Joe, what's up, buddy? Where can they find you at?
Twitter _actually_ on Instagram. Also on Twitter at Comic Book Rundown. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, Comic Rundown on Twitter, Comic Book Rundown on Instagram. That's my other show. That's my other podcast. I'm also on Ranger Alliance on the Geek Ultimate Alliance Network.
Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. You can find me at the Bat Daddy 52 on Twitter. My personal handle. Check me out. I'm on shows here with Travis. Mentioned most of them: Superhero Discussions, Super Civil Servants, DC Alliance. I do Batman. You Complete Me with Mr. Snell, and then check me out on this Sunday being the last Sunday as a post game show because the Panthers suck. But luckily, I don't do any post game shows this week. And then every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, C3 Panthers podcast, where we're talking about Panthers football. So that's it.
Kamara's not
Everyone-
playing, so we might have a chance.
Yeah.
But what's
Equal.
the
Yeah.
point?
You never know. Exactly. Yeah. Tomorrow's gonna. I'll talk. Hear me talk football tomorrow. we'll get on the talk football tomorrow. But that's it, man. Y'all, I appreciate everybody coming on. It was an awesome time. Happy New Year, 2021. Here we
Yes,
go.
Happy New
And,
Year, all.
I can't wait to cover all the stuff we were talking about. Looking forward to, and with all
Mhm.
y'all. So, folks, until next week, keep pounding.
Later, everyone.